very strong on this and restore deterrence by sending a strong message to Xi Jinping that this won't be acceptable moving forward.
Young talking to Wish TV, Biden said Thursday he plans to speak with China's president about that balloon soon. What have you got going on the next 100 days? That's how much time you have before the next Indy 500. Kurt Darling reports.
The NTT IndyCar Series season opens in just over 2 weeks. IMS President Doug Bowles says things are shaping up nicely for that and for the Indy 500 in May.
Having 27 cars that are going to show up at the grid in St. Petersburg, and we think already we're at 33 cars for the Indianapolis 500, which means we'll likely have that bumping day that we so much enjoy.
He also says Carb Day and Legends Day lineups will be announced in the next couple of weeks. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, slow southbound 69 from 96th Street down to 82nd. Starting to build on the east side. Southbound lanes 465 from Washington to Brookville Road. And a little bit of flurry action on the interstates here today. Be careful. Keep those lights on. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is here. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700 on select mattresses from top brands. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a chilly end to the week. Highs in the mid-30s with a mostly sunny sky. Lows tonight bottom out in the lower 20s, and we're in store for a mild weekend. Saturday, high 46. We're in the low 50s on Sunday. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8's Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
So, Hammer, I'll ask you, if you're a resident of East Palestine, Ohio, and you see the governor of Ohio, DeWine, come out and say, hey, look, there's nothing to worry about. It's not in your homes. It's not in the water. It's not in the air. Go back home. Everybody's fine. Are you still a little hesitant if you're a resident in and around that area? Are you just a tad still concerned?
I would have questions. I would politely raise my hand. Excuse me, Governor DeWine, why are all these fish dead?
I mean, I'm hearing one thing and seeing a completely different picture painted, and physical pictures of dead animals and fish and water contamination there in East Palestine after the derailment of the train at the beginning of February, and especially the footage of the plume of toxic chemicals just being released into the air that you could see from space.
J.D. Vance, who's the senator from Ohio, friend of our show, who's been on with us before, he did a video where he goes up to this creek in East Palestine, Ohio, and he takes a stick. And I'm going to play you the audio here. He kind of rubs the stick in the dirt, and you see all of these horrific chemicals come up.
Hey guys, so I'm here at Leslie Run, and there's dead worms and dead fish all throughout this water. So, something I just discovered is that if you scrape the creek bed, it's like chemical is coming out of the ground. Can you come here? And let me just show this to people. I don't know if you're going to see this in the camera, but watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting. And the fact that we have not cleaned up the train crash, the fact that these chemicals are still seeping in the ground is an insult to the people who live in East Palestine.
Well, but the governor says it's fine. Nothing in the air, nothing in the water, nothing to see here.
And the White House, well, granted, they only reached out to the governor just a couple of days ago, but clearly they think everything's fine because they're refusing to give emergency disaster relief funds to Ohio.
No FEMA for you.
No FEMA for you. Now, the White House's argument is, well, there's nothing FEMA can do for these people. They need the EPA. They need, environmental groups. They need other things. There's nothing FEMA can do.
Somebody get Greta Thunberg on the line. Maybe she can help.
We heard from people at that town hall the other night who said they have taken their families and they've moved away. They've been staying in hotels because they've been getting headaches. They've noticed their pets have, died. There's dead fish everywhere. They've been getting rashes. So if FEMA is designed to help people at a time of emergency, normally it's like hurricanes and tornadoes, why not give funding for these people who want to just get away for a little bit while this stuff gets figured out? But the Biden administration and FEMA has said, we're not giving these people a single penny.
Actually, you know what? That money that we could give you, we're going to send that to Zelensky in Ukraine.
Plenty of money for Ukraine. Hot damn. They're writing blank checks to Ukraine. And I'd like to point out that the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts got $270 million of federal money. A park in Nancy Pelosi's district in San Francisco got $200 million in federal money. But we're not giving anything to these people in East Palestine, Ohio. FEMA's going to say, it's not our job. Tell that to the people who are staying in hotels right now because they don't feel safe going back to where they're supposed to be at because of what's happening here.
And by the way, where's the railroad company? Where's Norfolk in all this? Because they didn't show up to the town hall because they didn't feel, quote unquote, safe.
They didn't feel safe. How do you think these people feel?
Kidding.
Now, the EPA has arrived. The EPA arrived yesterday. They're still in East Palestine today. They're trying to figure something out.
Look, I hope DeWine's right. I hope those people, I hope there's really nothing to worry about there. I hope there's nothing in the air or the water that's concerning. It just doesn't, if I'm living there, though, if I'm in that town, I'm not just throwing my hands up and saying, well, the governor said it's all right, so, okay, whatever. That's not what I'm doing, especially the footage of those fumes and chemicals, spilling into the air.
There's another viral video of someone throwing a rock in one of the rivers there, and you just see the awful state of the water. It turns every color. It's disgusting. It's gross. That can't be good. And if this stuff is already being detected in parts of Cincinnati at the Ohio River and as far up north as West Virginia, you're telling me that the ground zero area is perfectly fine? I find that hard to believe, and it's disgusting that FEMA is not helping these people in the slightest. There are things you can do to help these people out. There are people displaced. There are absolutely people displaced right now. And that's what FEMA is designed to do. If your house was destroyed by a tornado or a hurricane, FEMA would give disaster relief to help out the people of that community. But this community, for whatever reason, seems to be getting a nice big middle finger from the Biden administration. It's bad and it's embarrassing, and these people deserve better.
And by the way, I did see an interesting piece on our news gathering partners, Wish TV, this morning about how people in Indiana are worried that it's going to be like in West Lafayette's drinking water and stuff like that. They did interview a couple of Purdue University professors in ecological and the study that study environmental contamination. They said there's really nothing to be worried about here if you're a Hoosier. Now, I will say, I am going to Cincinnati for a couple days next week.
You're going to go play in the Ohio River, Nige? Going to let the kids go swimming in the Ohio River?
I think I'm going to keep my distance from that area.
There's weird stuff going on, man.
Oh, there is, yeah.
I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but did you see the picture of all the dead birds in that big parking lot in Lexington? So all of these birds, they're like on power lines. They're dead all over a parking lot. Looks like some type of mall parking lot, a big, massive parking lot.
Was that the one where they were hanging down off
Yes.
the power lines like they were dead, but they were still able to somehow hang on. But they're all upside down, basically.
Right. Now, some had fallen to the ground.
Yeah.
Quite a few were on the ground. But yeah, a lot of dead birds just in this parking lot in Lexington. Very bizarre. Again, I have no idea if it's connected or not, but you look at some of the stuff that's happening around our country right now. We talked about this yesterday. There was another train derailment that had hazardous materials in it. This one was just outside of Detroit. Now, luckily, this one wasn't leaking, but it was a train derailment that had some hazardous chemicals in it, which means, what is it, the 17th of February? We've already had a dozen train derailments reported in the United States this year. Now, I get they probably happen more often than we normally pay attention to, but man, if you're carrying these toxic chemicals, it seems like it's happening more and more often right now. Where's our transportation secretary? I thought we spent like $1 trillion to fix the railways and the roads and the bridges and all that kind of stuff. Can we get a little audit for our money? Can we see where that went, actually? For the second time this week, United States fighter jets have intercepted a Russian aircraft near the coast of Alaska. Now, before everybody gets their frozen panties in a wad here, this happens, I guess, quite often in Alaska.
If you wear panties in Alaska, more than likely they are frozen.
They are frozen solid. NORAD officials say it's actually a common occurrence. Quote, this Russian activity near the North American ADIZ occurs regularly and is not seen as a threat, nor is the activity seen as provocative. So I guess it's normal for Russian jets to kind of play a game of chicken with the folks up in Alaska. So nothing to be scared of there, nothing to be scared of in East Palestine, Ohio, and birds freeze up and die all the time in Lexington.
Sure.
Nothing to see here, people. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
We are looking at southbound 465 on the east side. That's a slow roll after 70 down to Brookville Road, then inbound 69. Just a little bit tight right now from 96th Street down to 82nd. And we do have a little bit of flurries coming out of the sky here tonight. Please keep your lights on. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. Dell Technologies President's Day sale starts now with savings on select sleek XPS PCs and more, powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Call 877-ASK-DELL. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And I get train derailments are a regular thing. They happen because everybody's sending me messages. But it just seems like it's been happening more and more with dangerous, toxic chemicals.
And not only that, but the giant warehouse fires over the past 12 to 15 months in this country in food processing plants and things like that. Just had another one down in Florida. A giant 5-acre warehouse burned to the ground.
Right now, we've got 30 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. When we come back, Matt Baer and all of his berry goodness will join us in studio. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hubler has certified service and maintenance for the life of your vehicle. Get everyday value pricing on service and parts and schedule an appointment with ease at drivehubler.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The just because deal. Hey, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Share tasty breakfast with buy one, get one for $1 items like the Sausage McMuffin. Breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires after rebate. Thursday through Monday only at Bell Tire's President's Day sale. We even have tires as low as $49 after rebate. February 16th through the 20th. Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. Thursday through Monday only. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. February 16th through the 20th at Bell Tire. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with deals to power America's doers and dreamers. Save on select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for President's Day deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-787-2319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Ox covers commercial car owners too. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-787-2319. 800-787-2319.
Skyworks Equipment Rental has the right construction equipment and tools you need to get the job done. To rent, purchase, or schedule service, stop by their Indianapolis location or visit skyworksllc.com. Skyworks, building America from the ground up.
It's time to go beast mode. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
I'm Nigel. Hammer's here. Matt Bear from the WIBC Traffic Center joining us live here in our studio. Just real quick, I did want to mention that this has been getting headlines that one of the objects that was shot down by the United States Air Force possibly could have been a Hobby Club balloon. An Illinois Hobby Club balloon. Matt,
let's just shoot
is fearing
down.
that its balloon was shot down by the United States Air Force. This
That's
is
awesome.
According to Aviation Week. Per this report, the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade, whatever that is.
Who are these people?
They floated a silver-coated party-style Pico balloon.
were they
about
spying?
40,000 feet. The last reported position was February 10th off the west coast of Alaska.
Illinois Balloon Club is spying on our nuclear submarines right now. And it should have been shot down. I'm sorry.
Right. Shoot it down. I'm with you guys.
I want Patriot missiles on every interstate from here.
Could you imagine these geeks in some balloon club in Illinois all looking at each other, freaking the F out after the military just shot down one of their weather party balloons?
It was a high school senior science project.
Right.
Like the advisor all got them together. If anybody asks you, it was from China.
But
listen, I'm happy it got shot out of the sky. I don't care what it is. If it's a drone, if it's a bird, if it's Superman, if it's somewhere where it shouldn't be, you shoot that son of a blank out of the sky. Just hit it. Don't miss.
It's not confirmed, but it is being reported by a bunch of different news outlets, including Fox News and CBS.
It's a new game, new Hammer and Nigel segment. What was shot out of the sky today?
Well, that's what Biden. It's one of the things Biden said during his little spiel yesterday. His first words about the downed objects, where some of this stuff is like recreation, some of the weather projects, and we don't know what they are, but they're not affiliated with China. So I don't know.
If it's a bald eagle, shoot it down. You know what I mean? That's what we have to do.
Somewhere where it shouldn't be, it's going to meet its death. Matt Baer, our traffic guy with us. When was the last time a train caused a major problem, like in Indianapolis? Do you remember?
I would have to say off the top of I remember about 3 years ago, and this was a thing downtown and on the Near East Side, that Near East Side train that covers 3 major east-west arteries. A little traffic talk there. Would block Michigan Street and New York Street for hours at a time. And
it would just sit there on the tracks.
Yes, it would just sit there on the tracks.
There's one on Raymond Street that would do the same thing, like on the south side. It would just sit there, and you couldn't get around it no matter where you went.
Yeah, it was really terrible because we had construction going on in the area. It wasn't North Split at the time, but I would get tweets. They would tweet about this more than serious crashes on the interstates. It would be like, hey, train stopped again, say so. I'm like, what can I do? I can't move the train. They're like, tell somebody. I'm like, okay, CSX, train stop.
And if memory serves me correctly, somebody passed a law that said, hey, if that train stops on the track, whoever's train that is going to get fined. But then the Supreme Court stepped in and said you can't do that.
That's as I recall,
man.
That's exactly what happened. The Supreme Court came and got together and said, yeah, there's nothing you can do here. It's unconstitutional. But it was crazy because shortly after the Supreme Court came down, those trains stopped stopping. And there was really no rhyme or reason to it. I think they're just parking the trains on the tracks for a little bit just to do it, and they could get away with it.
I'm looking at the Indy Star back in August of 2021. Train derails in Shelby County, causing power outage and track damage. Boy,
Wow.
that was a big one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now, we're not saying that trains don't derail all the time or even frequently, but it just feels like more and more they've had dangerous toxic chemicals in them that have been seeping out. That's all I'm saying, because I know everybody's been sending me messages. Dude, you don't know. Trains go off the track all the time. I get it, but do they always have stuff that kills the local river involved?
Yeah, what is it you don't know exactly? That chemicals are poisonous? I mean, you get poison into the water, and that is bad for the residents there. What's there not to know about that?
Look at this. This is from January of last year. Freight train derails near Indianapolis. Fire and fuel leak reported. A freight train derailment in Indiana led to a small fire along with lube oil and diesel fuel leaks. This was at the rail yard in Avon.
That train was bought and paid for by Matt Baer, courtesy of WIBC.
It was a Cyrilus
No,
train.
there was that was about a year ago in January. Some derailments. There's probably plenty of derailments that have happened close to us.
There was one in Pendleton, near Pendleton High School, that was just awful a few years ago. And I don't believe anybody was hurt in it, but the pictures were just absolutely brutal. A car got stuck on the tracks, and when cars get stuck on tracks, they get hit by trains. And it was one of the worst crashes I had ever seen in my life. That was a few years ago. So, yeah, it's been happening.
Matt Baer with us from the WIBC Traffic Center. Matt, I know you're a big Bruce Willis guy. You enjoy Bruce Willis movies.
Really?
And it's kind of a bummer to see what Bruce is going through now.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I feel like with some of these 80s action stars, I mean, that was our generation, man, and so many people listening. I mean,
and he's got dementia right now. And sometimes we joke about Joe Biden. People make jokes about Donald Trump. But those who have actually seen what real dementia does, like not the beginning stages, the real McCoy here, that's what Bruce Willis has right now.
It's one of those totally awful, just irreversible diseases that you have to watch loved ones go through. And in a situation like this, when we do grow up watching Bruce Willis's movies, we have a personal attachment to him. I mean, you look at the Die Hard trilogy, and he made great movies. You look at Looper and some of the other ones, and it's just kind of like, you just because you grew up with them, you just really want the best for that family. And there is no, I read a little bit about it. There's no reversing this disease. It's dementia. You can't take it back. You can't really make it better. You just try to make everybody comfortable around it. That's heartbreaking. I mean, it's brutal to watch that.
I know we're kind of talking a serious thing here, but I mean, look, what is he known for? What do you think? You mentioned Looper. That was a pretty good one. I think that went under the radar just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously Die Hard.
Yeah. Well, Die Hard, of course, but Pulp Fiction, I think.
The Whole 9 Yards was pretty good.
That was a damn good movie right there. I racked my brain on this yesterday trying to think out if it's not Die Hard, what is it?
The Last Boy Scout.
The Last Boy Scout. There was
was that with Damon Wayans? He's the ex-football player. Yeah, The Last Boy Scout is unbelievable. Really good.
That was back in the day where you could make any kind of action movie you wanted and people were going to watch it and they were going to love it.
Yeah.
Those are the glory days of cinema right there.
Last thing before we let you go. Again, we got Matt Baer in studio. I'm going to read you a headline, and I just want your very brief reaction. Naked and afraid contestant burns crank on campfire. And I cleaned that up a little bit.
My reaction is I can't help him. If there's nudity and fire and you don't make the connection.
You're not going to do that thing where you do like Mr. Miyagi and clap your hands and rub them together and then heal it?
If Mr. Miyagi, hey, I'm naked. I'm going to go clip the hedges today, I think.
Did they actually use the word crank?
No, but I didn't know
headline?
if I could say it on the radio. So I changed one word for the radio.
Entertainment Tonight.
Matt Bear, you're the best.
Love you guys.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, I'm Pastor Micah Beckwith.
And I'm Pastor Nathan Peternell.
Are you tired of a woke culture?
What do you mean by that, Micah?
Woke is defined as anti-American, pro-Marxist, ideological indoctrination.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
Well, you know, at Life Church, we are the church where
woke goes to die.
So if you want a church that's going to preach the word of God boldly and unapologetically,
then you want to come to Life Church. We got 4 locations all around the city. Go to lifechurchin.com.
Did you know that the flu can put you at risk for pneumonia, which can lead to a hospital stay or even death? Did you know that inflation is over 7%? Want to fight both? Brangle Family Medicine and Research is testing Sanofi's investigational flu vaccine that uses new technology to fight the flu. Spots are limited, and compensation of up to $1,300 may be provided. Call or text 317-671-9168 to see if you qualify. 317-671-9168. Receive study-related care at no cost to you. 317-671-9168.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, the fun extends beyond the beach because here the arts are alive, the food is al fresco, and the nightlife is electric. So let's forget the cold and find our place in the sun. Let's explore captivating collections at the Salvador Dali Museum and bask in bay views from the St. Pete Pier. Let's fill up on fresh cod cuisine and catch up over cold craft beer on rooftop patios. Day or night, let's shine. Plan your escape at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
My name is Sophie.
Sasha. Robert. Ron. And I'm alive thanks to my nurse practitioner.
My nurse practitioner saved me from a lifelong heart condition.
She prescribed the right medication. My NP diagnosed my multi-organ failure.
My NP listens.
She saved my life. Twice. And I will always be grateful.
To learn why millions of people choose NPs, visit us at wechoosenps.org.
Paid for by AANP.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
The cops are pleading not guilty. About 30 degrees with some clouds on the circle radar mostly clear as well. Low of 23 expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. 5 former Memphis police officers have pleaded not guilty in the death of Tyree Nichols. Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports.
All 5 former Memphis police officers pleaded not guilty to charges including second-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping in the death of Tyree Nichols, who was beaten and kicked during his arrest on January 7th and died 3 days later. Body cam video recorded Nichols yelling for his mother during the violent arrest. She and Nichols' stepfather were in the courtroom when Judge James Jones Jr. announced that the case would take some time.
We understand that there may be some high emotions in this case, but we ask that you continue to be patient with us.
The former officers were part of a crime suppression team known as Scorpion, which has since been deactivated. They're due back in court in May. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
4 U.S. troops were wounded in a helicopter raid that killed an ISIS leader in Syria today. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby had what happened.
The troops and the working dog are in stable conditions. They're being treated at a U.S. military facility, U.S. medical facility in Iraq.
The 4 are part of U.S. Special Operations Forces. You're going to start paying more for things like gasoline after an increase in the producer price index, says Dr. Matt Will, an economist at UIndy.
So what we're seeing is we still aren't producing what we need to produce. We still aren't pumping out the crude oil that the United States needs to do its job, and that's pulling this up.
Talking to WIBC's Tony Katz, gas prices have gone up about 15 cents on average in Indiana the last 4 days. And he says there's just too many of them. That's what action movie star Liam Neeson said about the Star Wars spin-offs in an interview on That's What Happens Live. Neeson, who made a Star Wars debut in The Phantom Menace, says he's got a bad feeling about all those extra shows. He thinks it's diluting the product. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With traffic at 334, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison looking at the east side. Southbound 465 slows before 72 Washington Street. And then we have inbound 69 a little bit slow. 96 down to 82nd. Flurries coming out of the sky. Use your lights, please. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and gift-free padding. Yes, buy carpet, gift-free padding. Only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shadeland. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a chilly end to the week. Highs in the mid-30s with a mostly sunny sky. Lows tonight bottom out in the lower 20s, and we're in store for a mild weekend. Saturday, high 46. We're in the low 50s on Sunday. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8's Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
Hey, I'm Nigel. Hammer's over there. We'll go straight to the drivehuber.com hotline and bring on Tommy Pickett, RNC Rapid Response Director, as we do every Friday here on the show. Tommy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. Let's start. I mean, there's any number of places we could start, but the response from the Biden administration and the transportation secretary, out of Ohio, the train derailment in East Palestine, the plumes of toxic chemicals flowing into the air. What do you, just your overall perspective on how the administration's handled this disaster so far?
Well, it seems like a lack of reaction, to be honest, because they really didn't talk about it for days. We were seeing these really horrifying pictures, to be honest, about coming out of Ohio, and there was no comment at all from Joe Biden. I don't even think he actually has commented on it himself. Pete Buttigieg took days to even tweet about it. And since then, he's been trying to downplay the disaster. He's been trying to point fingers, deflect blame. That's not what the people of Ohio need. They need someone that's actually going to go and answer questions and give people correct information. I think there was a telling video that came out of East Palestine when residents were asking, where is Pete Buttigieg? And the mayor said, your guess is as good as mine. And I think that sums up how disastrously and how poorly the Biden administration has reacted to this disaster.
Well, not only that, but they found a way to blame Trump and some of his policies back during his administration in terms of regulation on the railroad. And it was such a, yesterday Pete Buttigieg says, this has been getting a lot of attention, but look, there's like 1,000 cases a year of trains derailing. But how many of those cases involve plumes of toxic chemicals flowing into the air for days on end?
I mean, that really is kind of showing how out of touch and how detached from reality Pete Buttigieg has been on this, saying this happens all the time. No, it doesn't. And if it does, why in the world don't we see about it? Is there some massive cover-up that we don't know about? I mean, it's so ludicrous to try to downplay this as an everyday event when it's clearly not. And then you brought up that regulation that Pete Buttigieg is trying to blame Trump, like this administration tries to blame Trump for everything. Biden's own administration came out and said that regulation Pete Buttigieg was pointing to would not have applied in this case. So Biden's own administration is debunking Pete Buttigieg's efforts to deflect blame. I mean, you can't make it up because it's so poor of a response. And really just it's one kind of misstep after another when it comes to the Biden administration on this.
Tommy, I admit that I'm a little surly. I'm a little cynical of so many things right now. Policies and politics have divided so many people. But I feel like if this disaster would have happened in a blue hotspot. If this would have happened in Seattle or San Francisco or even a place like Atlanta or Philly, you would have seen a much larger and speedier response from the Biden administration. Does that make sense?
I think you're exactly right, and I think that's true. I mean, I honestly think this, if there was a disaster like this, I'll just say, in a big city, you would want the transportation secretary to respond. You'd want the Biden administration to respond. So I would hope they would in that case. But I think you're exactly right to point out that because this isn't in a blue city, a blue state, that there perhaps might be a slower response here, or at least it wasn't brought to their attention. Because it's clear who the Biden administration listens to when it comes to transportation issues. And it's not people actually concerned about transportation safety. That's not who they listen to. They listen to people who have these other really far left woke agendas to try to push their own agenda onto the American people, whether that has to do with climate, whether that has to do with changing the height of highway bridges. If you remember back when Pete Buttigieg talked about equitable highways or whatever that was. I mean, it's bizarre sort of priorities from this administration where they're listening to far left activists and not actually listening to transportation experts, not listening to people concerned about safety, not concerned about people that want to keep the trains running on time and safely and keep airplanes flying on time and safely. They decided to completely discard that. And that's why we've seen one disaster after another from Pete Buttigieg. And ultimately, crisis follows incompetence. There's a reason why we've seen disaster after disaster in transportation while Pete Buttigieg has been secretary, and it's because he is incompetent at his job.
All right, so which Biden diversity hire has been a bigger disaster, Pete Buttigieg or Karine Jean-Pierre as the White House press secretary? Because when you watch these press briefings, she's lost control of the room. And keep in mind, about 95% of the people in that press room would be more than happy to carry the water for the Democratic Party. She's starting to lose those people. Who's worse at their job?
Well, at this point, I mean, I think they may be self-reinforcing. I think they both make each other worse, to be honest, because one can't defend something, and the other person keeps on making things that have to be defended, if that makes sense. The secretary keeps on messing up, and then the press secretary goes out there and can't clean up the mess that the secretary created. I think it's kind of part of this whole administration that really is incompetent, and it's really ironic that part of what they ran on was the adults are back in charge, and I think it's clear from the disaster after disaster that has really come out into play here that the adults are not back in charge. And really, you pointed out the disaster of Karine Jean-Pierre. It's not Republicans saying that. There's article after article of White House reporters saying how terrible she is, how she never provides correct information, how she never actually delivers information on time, how she never actually answers a question. It's just one disaster after another. I remember one time we actually made a video at the RNC of all the times where Karine Jean-Pierre said, "I don't have anything." It's something like in the first week of her time as press secretary, we got to something like, 10 minutes of her saying, "I don't have anything." So, it really is just, she's really not a good press secretary. And again, that's not me saying it from the RNC perspective. That's journalists in the room that are saying she's not good at her job.
Tommy Pickett is our guest. He's the Rapid Response Director for the RNC. So yesterday, Joe Biden shuffles up to the microphone, talks a little bit. He was trying to get off stage, and then the questions started coming at him left and right. And I think Peter Doocy had a question that rang out, and we got that slow, creepy, confused spin back to the press that Joe Biden does. And he kind of snapped at the reporters because they wanted information about national security. I'm just curious as to your thoughts on what you saw yesterday.
Well, I think, from the start, questions about Hunter Biden are legitimate. I mean, Joe Biden, that is, has lied again and again about what he knew about Hunter Biden's business dealings. We literally have a voicemail of Joe Biden discussing Hunter Biden's business dealings. There's so much evidence in almost every single form: text messages, emails, phone calls, calendars, pictures. I mean, every single type of evidence you could want shows Joe Biden has been involved in Hunter Biden's business dealings, or at least knew about them. And so it's a clear question when Hunter Biden has business dealings with parts of the Chinese Communist Party to ask whether or not that's affecting Joe Biden's policies. I think, I'm reminded of that Shakespeare line, "We think that us protest too much." I think Joe Biden protesting too much on Hunter Biden's questions kind of shows there's something there. And I'm thankful that the House Republican majority is looking into it.
And for him to turn around and say, "Give me a break," like he's being put out. You're the commander-in-chief, and allegedly 81 million people voted for you because, like you said, we were promised the adults are back in the room. And your response to questions about national security or to have that bewildered look and say, give me a break, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, that look he does when he turns around, it's the opposite of confidence inspiring. Right? I mean, I see that every time. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, I can't imagine what his press team is thinking. They must know something's coming that they don't have to clean up later. It's always something. And I think one of the things he said after there was that question on Hunter Biden is very revealing as well. He said he wasn't going to answer questions on camera because the reporters weren't being polite enough. That's his word, polite enough.
Right.
That's not the job of a free press. That's not the job of the media, to be polite to the commander-in-chief, especially when we remember what he was talking about. He was talking about the aerial objects, and we got no answers on them at all. So, of course, there's going to be questions on that. It really is bizarre how insulted he was by the concept that he actually would have to answer a question.
And when were they nice to Donald Trump, Tommy? When were they polite to Donald Trump?
Never.
I mean, that's a good point. They never were. But President Trump would get up there, and he would take questions hours on end.
Yes.
And I think it's also, Biden's own press team, Jen Psaki, said that they don't recommend Biden takes questions. That's literally what she told David Axelrod during a podcast. So I can see why, because he has no answers. He has no ability to really calm the American people. But again, the press should not be polite to the commander-in-chief. The press should ask questions that the American people deserve answers to.
Last thing here before we let you go, the inflation report came out this past week. And again, things that the average working family in this country needs from the grocery store all went up. You look at the price of things, everything is going up. But Joe Biden puts out tweets, does these little speeches in front of all of his little butt sniffer friends that says the economy is just cruising along.
It really is insulting. I mean, if anyone ever wants to kind of rage, get angry, look at Joe Biden's Twitter when he's talking about the economy, because it's so detached from reality. They're literally posting that grocery prices are going down when the price of eggs are 70% more than last year. I mean, it's ridiculous to say grocery prices are going down. They're talking about wages, claiming families have more breathing room. That's their favorite phrase. When real savings, real wages, and real incomes are all down from when Joe Biden took office. Families are literally poorer because of his agenda, and he's out there bragging. It's like Marie Antoinette from the French Revolution, going out there and saying, let them eat cake. It's so detached from reality. It really is, and it's insulting, I think, the families that are struggling right now.
Tommy Pickett is the RNC Rapid Response Director. Tommy, we always appreciate you joining us in Indy. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Hey, it's Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's our 96th birthday, so we're having a sale. Now through Monday, save on everything from Lazy Boy, Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern, mattresses by Sealy, Stearns & Foster, even Tempur-Pedic. Spring is right around the corner, so save big on Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery and interest-free financing.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Selling your house, it can be one of the most stressful experiences in life. It doesn't have to be. It's Matt Bear here. Hi. Last-minute showings and never-ending negotiations can be a thing. It should be exciting, no anxiety. I had so much of that when I sold my house north of Indy. It felt like a lifetime of negotiations, and I even sold my furniture because, boom, closing time. I'm out. I could have skipped the hassle and sold directly to Open Door. I could have closed in a matter of days and focused on what's ahead in life. There isn't always a perfect time to move. Open Door can help any time be a perfect time. Take control of your move when you start with Open Door. Request an all-cash offer in minutes. Open Door eliminates the most stressful parts of selling your home, like showings and long, tedious negotiations. Start with a free all-cash offer on your house today at opendoor.com. That's opendoor.com. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets.
What do student athletes learn in the second classroom of high school sports? So much more than just a game. I'm Jeannie Ulmer.
And I'm Chris Kaufman. We're both assistant commissioners of the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Through education-based athletics, student athletes learn the courage to face challenges. They realize the importance of persevering through trials and failures. They discover the drive to achieve their goals.
They gain something so much more valuable than wins and losses. They develop grit and integrity.
They grow so much more than their athletic skills. They learn daily lessons in teamwork, accountability, and respect.
These are some of life's most important lessons, and high school sports teach every one of them every day. Buy a ticket to your high school's athletic events and support student athletes learning the values and skills they need on the playing field and beyond.
This is helping student athletes grow as people. This is the purpose of high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and get free padding. Yes, buy carpet, get free padding. Only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shaylin. Find Drexel at drexel-in.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Yeah, we're eastbound 460, find stop and go Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, also stop and go before 96th Street down to 82nd. And then on the south side, westbound 465 slows before and after Harding. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and get free padding. Yes, buy carpet and get free padding only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shaylin. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
30 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And let's do a round of Damn Nature, You Scary.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents
Damn Nature, You Scary.
on 93 WIBC.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
So, Big Nige, you're a man that's been known to get out on the links, play a little golf from time to time.
A little bit.
How would you feel if a massive alligator that appears to be 14 feet and 1,000 pounds showed up on the green?
I would need to buy some new shorts at the clubhouse when I got back.
Because that's what happened in Florida.
Oh, my gosh.
The gator showed up to the Sebring golf course this week, and somebody took a picture of it, and you could just tell by the picture, this is just a mean SOB.
Not only that, I mean, that's horrifying. That's something like Jurassic Park style size of reptile. That is terrifying.
The officials didn't get close enough to it to measure, but they think that it's very close to the all-time Florida record of 14 feet, 3 inches, and 1,043 pounds.
Damn, Nature, you scary.
I'll try to share this. A weather guy that works down there took a picture of it.
I mean, it looks like a damn dinosaur. It really does.
Oh, wow. I don't know if he lets me share this or not. I'll see what I can do here.
Dateline off the coast of Mexico. A 19-foot-long great white shark bit the head off of a diver.
No.
The attack occurred in the Gulf of California near Mexico at a depth of fewer than 60 feet.
That's the stuff movies are made out of right there, man. That's awful.
I mean, this wasn't really deep water, fewer than 60 feet. The man was diving with a group, and they were harvesting axe tripe, which I guess are similar to scallops when the attack happened. Experts are not sure why the shark targeted the man's head. They say that is extremely rare.
Damn, nature, you scary.
You want to know why I don't go in the ocean and why I have anxiety about kids going into the. You say the Gulf of
California,
near Mexico?
Right off the coast of Mexico. Yes.
Ugh.
A depth of fewer than 60 feet. Now, 60 feet is pretty deep. It's not like we're talking about, your head is hanging up above water here. But still, normally when you think about great white sharks, you're out there in hundreds of feet of deep water. Not the case. How about this headline from India? Bloodthirsty leopard mauls lawyers inside of a courthouse. Multiple people
only in India
were rushed to a hospital in India after a leopard went on the attack inside of a courthouse. Several lawyers, a police officer, and a boot polisher were clawed by the creature. The wild leopard also mauled at least 4 lawyers, with one ravaged so bad that he had to fight it off with a shovel and a stick just to survive.
You've got these past 2 things you've just done are like 2 of the worst ways for me to go out in life. Being attacked and dragged down to the bottom of the ocean by a great white shark or getting mauled by a giant wild animal like a bear or a leopard. Awful. Couldn't imagine.
The leopard was first seen under the stairs in the court building. This is according to a witness. And then the leopard ran from there, and it pounced on the people and started running. It eventually was captured by a 12-person forest department team.
What's going on over there in India? We just got wild leopards walking around the streets, sneaking in courtrooms.
So I could play the damn nature you scary closer,
yes,
but I could also do a CSI joke. Which one would you prefer?
CSI for sure, man. Come on.
All right, here we go. Now that's what I call claw and order. Allison's laughing. I made Allison laugh.
Because it happened in a courtroom.
Right.
Claw.
And it's a leopard.
Law and order. Okay.
Claw and order.
I see.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
$111,000? I know I would be. Check this out. 96% of Americans lose out on an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's because they claim their benefits at the wrong time. Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. Learn how you could avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery right here in Indy.
You've heard about Bill Demery for years, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand. If you've saved at least $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. This free analysis shows you exactly when to file for Social Security, so you can wring every nickel out of the benefits that are rightfully yours. Call 317-932-9912. That's 317-932-9912.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SMART for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code SMART. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SMART for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SMART.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
This weekend, everything is 20% off, including Scott's 4-Step annual lawn care program at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
Prescription opioids can be addictive and dangerous.
I was given a prescription opioid pain medication, and within only a few months, I was completely addicted. I lost everything. I had to leave school and stop playing sports in college, and I started to watch my life slip away. I want people to know that these drugs are addictive. One prescription can be all it takes to lose everything.
Prescription opioids. It only takes a little to lose a lot. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires after rebate. Thursday through Monday only at Bell Tire's President's Day sale. We even have tires as low as $49 after rebate. February 16th through the 20th. Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. Thursday through Monday only. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. February 16th through the 20th at Bell Tire. See store at belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Indy Metro Police are investigating after someone was shot at the Castleton Square Mall today. John Herrick reports on a boy who is okay after accidentally shooting himself this morning. And IU women's basketball picked up their 25th win on the season last night. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
It was a spy balloon. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The military has finished efforts to recover debris from the large Chinese balloon shot down over the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of South Carolina.
And analysis indicates it was indeed a Chinese spy balloon. That according to U.S. officials who say the final pieces will be sent to an FBI lab in Virginia for analysis. President Biden said this week that the decision to shoot down the balloon over the ocean was to keep people safe and to preserve as much of the balloon as possible. President Biden said Thursday the government is developing more concrete rules for dealing with unknown aerial objects.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. A shooting in rural Mississippi has left 6 dead. Officials say the bodies of the 6 victims were located at several locations in Tate County, about 40 miles south of Memphis, Tennessee. The suspect has reportedly been taken into custody. Officials in East Palestine, Ohio, say there's no evidence of contaminated water or air after the train derailment that led to a toxic chemical release.
Even Governor Mike DeWine says so.
So far, they've had no detection of contaminants, either outside or in the specific homes where they've been asked to monitor.
Though neighbors continue to report unexplained illnesses of themselves, their families, and their pets, along with foul water and dead wildlife. The derailed train was intentionally set on fire to avoid what was believed could be a larger uncontained explosion. The tanker cars were carrying noxious chemicals.
Fox's Eben Brown. Another mixed day on Wall Street with investors concerned more rate hikes are coming from the Federal Reserve. The Dow up 130 points, the S&P down 11, the NASDAQ 68 points lower. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the cops are investigating: cloudy 29 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Maybe a few snow flurries on your radar with the low of 23 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. IMPD says a person was shot at the Castleton Square Mall this afternoon, and they're being taken to the hospital. No word on any suspects or arrests, and the shooting is still being investigated. More info to be released later. We'll have it on the air and online at WIBC.com. A 3-year-old boy accidentally shot himself on the south side of Indianapolis this morning.
And that boy is awake and breathing. I'm John Herrick.
IMPD says they heard about the accidental shooting around 8:30 Friday morning that happened on Blankenship Drive, which is in a neighborhood near West Southport Road and South Harding Street. He was taken to a hospital. Police are trying to figure out who owns the gun and how the boy got a hold of the gun. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Indy Metro Police have arrested 19-year-old Curtis Williams for his involvement in the murder of Kinzel Bones. Officers responded to a shooting inside the Michigan Food Market off Michigan Street February 4th, and that's where they found Bones with a gunshot wound. Police ID'd Williams as a suspect and arrested him after they found him with several firearms, including an illegal machine gun, thanks to his search warrants. One person was arrested after a police chase in Sullivan County yesterday. Jaden Arnold has the story.
43-year-old Dustin McKim was pursued by officers in Hymera on Thursday. The trooper tried to pull him over on State Road 48 after recognizing McKim's vehicle and knowing he had active warrants for his arrest. Despite several verbal commands, McKim fled on foot and was pursued by the trooper and additional officers. McKim was eventually caught and found to exhibit signs of impairment. He now faces preliminary charges and is being held without bond in the Sullivan County Jail. Jaden Arnold, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
If you haven't started counting down already, the Indianapolis 500 is 100 days away.
We've been doing every year since 2016, really marking this day and saying, let's really get going and get ready for the race.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bowles, he says as of now they have 33 entries committed to try and qualify. The second-ranked IU women's basketball team won for the 25th time this season after beating Michigan last night. Head coach Terry Morin says this year's team is special.
Because they're just really good kids, There's just no other way to, explain it. All those 13 kids in that locker room, are from good parents and they're good people.
If they beat Purdue Sunday, they'll clinch at least a share of the Big Ten regular season title. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and it's the time of year when it's really hard not to track in slush and dirt into the home. And between the kids, the dogs, and even ourselves just coming and going, the floors and carpets could really use some help. Zero Res is my go-to team for cleaning carpets, hardwood floors, ceramic tile and grout, and even area rugs to give them that smart, lasting clean. I call them because no one can clean like Zero Res, because only Zero Res cleans with patented electrolyzed water. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals. That proprietary technology cleans your carpets without flooding the carpet padding. The patented ZR water technology cleans surfaces without the use of detergents or harsh chemicals because the water itself attracts the dirt, and it does it quickly and efficiently to leave that carpet soft and fluffy, and they stay cleaner longer. They have over 3,000 Google reviews with 4.95 out of 5-star rating. And right now, when you mention WIBC, you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $139. Call 388-5141 or schedule your appointment at ZeroResIndy.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison, you were talking about this Castleton Square Mall and the person shot. There is a police investigation going on there, so stay clear of 82nd Street. Just to the east of Allisonville Road if you can. Okay, that's Castleton Square Mall. Inbound 69 is stop and go before 96th Street down to 82nd. And on the east side, southbound 465 slow 72 Washington Street. South side, westbound 465 loaded from South Meridian to Harding. Traffic sponsored by Truehold. Fed Chair Powell said the home values will likely continue to erode for some time. Now is the smart time to lock in your home's current higher value. Get paid in cash and not have to move. Learn more at Truehold.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a chilly end to the week. Highs in the mid-30s with a mostly sunny sky. Lows tonight bottom out in the lower 20s, and we're in store for a mild weekend Saturday. High 46. We're in the low 50s on Sunday. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8's Stephanie Mead for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Yeah, as you heard at the top of the hour there with Harrison Silcox, a person has been shot at the Castleton Square Mall, although we don't know if it was inside the mall or outside the mall. IMPD has confirmed one person shot near the mall, according to this article. I think this, what am I looking at here? I think I'm looking at CBS4 Indy. The victim's condition unknown, and the shooting suspect is no longer on the scene. Again, we don't know if this was inside or outside, and as far as the victim is concerned, I think it says they applied a tourniquet to the victim, and they have been taken to the local hospital.
So action at the Castleton Square Mall today. And it's crazy that this happens today because we had planned on talking about the last shooting at the Castleton Square Mall today. Remember when Ryan Mears, the prosecutor here in Marion County, recused himself from prosecuting that fatal shooting that took place in the parking lot on January 3rd. That's when you had two guys coming out of the mall. One person allegedly tried to open up the wrong car door.
That's right.
Got the car doors confused. It was a car that looked similar to his, tried to open the door, and then gunshots rang out from inside the car. 16-year-old Michael Mason was killed in that shooting outside the mall. Another man was shot multiple times and severely injured. And at the time, as soon as we found out about this, Ryan Mears, the prosecutor, he recused himself. And we were trying to figure out what's going on here. Well, now we're starting to get a little bit more information. It sounds like Ryan Mears may have a relationship personally with somebody involved. Pastor Eddie Smith, he's the father of the other person that was shot, the one that lived. He told WTHR that, it's been over 40 days and no charges have been filed.
That's crazy.
And there may be a connection between Ryan Mears and the shooter causing a delay.
I guess it's the relational issue between Prosecutor Mears and the suspect that has grinded this to a halt. And, if I had to say how I felt, I just feel justice delayed is justice denied. This is ridiculous.
40 days?
Over 40 days, yes.
I mean, come on, get your crap together. Okay,
a fatal shooting.
If there is a relationship there between Mears and the shooter in some way, shape, or form, or whether it's a family, I am just speculating. I have no idea. He did the right thing in recusing himself. Of course, but it should not take 40 days for charges to be filed when someone died and another was severely injured. That is, what is the prosecutor's office doing?
Marion County courts now show that Matt Savage, a Madison County prosecutor, has been appointed as the special prosecutor to determine the charges here. So, again, imagine somebody you loved was gunned down in a parking lot. 40-plus days go by.
Nothing.
And nothing. No charges have been filed. That person still out there living their best life while you never get to say goodbye to your loved one ever again. This is disgusting, and this is unacceptable. Locally this morning, early this morning, a man and a woman dead after a shooting on the south side of Indy. This is near West Southport Road, just after midnight. Police arrived, and they found the couple inside a home with gunshot wounds. So if you're looking at the numbers here, Nige, this is 34 homicides in the first 48 days of 2023. In the last couple of record-breaking years, 2020 and 2021, February ended with 40 homicides in 2020 and 42 in 2021. Right now, we're sitting at 34. There's a very good chance before the end of this month is over that we're going to be getting close to record territory. Those years, 2020 and 2021, ended with 245 homicides and 272 homicides.
It's more than concerning. It's scary. And I'm not even going to, like you and I could sit here and talk about it. It's one thing and we could repeat the numbers, but I'm going to read you the words of Reverend Charles Harrison, who is on our program quite often, leader of the 10-Point Coalition. This is a guy that not only talks the talk, but walks the walk with the 10-Point Coalition and patrols hot
Literally.
spots. I am waking up to the news of 2 more people being killed in Indy. There is something wrong in American society today when violence is the means of how people settle conflicts. 34 human beings have already been killed in Indy in the first 48 days of 2023. This is madness. I am witnessing before my very eyes America becoming a lawless nation with our broken judicial system, with no accountability of repeat violent offenders, and the devaluing of human life. There is no fear of God anymore, and this nation seems to be falling off a cliff rapidly.
Strong.
I mean, it's so true. And when you have a reverend who is a leader of, the pastor at Barnes United Methodist Church, who, you're a pastor, you're a preacher, you're supposed to talk about hope, resurrection, spirituality, something to look forward to. He is very, very, when someone like him is terribly concerned about what's going on in his community, everyone should look up and pay attention to what is going on.
And before the anti-gun nuts start freaking out, it's not just guns. Look at the stabbings. Look at the amount of stabbings and assault that are also taking place in society right now, specifically Indianapolis. It's a mess. And if you want to fix this, you don't need any gun legislation. You don't need knife legislation. You need to be tougher with violent repeat offenders. I feel this way, Nigel. I think you feel this way. But apparently in Marion County, we're in the minority because Ryan Mears won with 60% of the vote. Busy day in law enforcement news in Memphis. The 5 former Memphis police officers charged in the beating death of Tyree Nichols pleaded not guilty in their first court appearance earlier today. All 5 officers entered a not guilty plea to charges including second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated kidnapping.
Well, good luck with that. Not guilty. Okay. I've seen the video. I mean, of course, their lawyers are going to tell them to plead not guilty, and they're trying to get a deal of some sort. But, yeah, I think
the video exists.
I think they're going to be spending a long, long time incarcerated.
How about some happier news? Can we get some happier news here?
Oh, no. Let's stay depressing and downtrodden. Come on.
A convicted killer is back behind bars.
Oh.
After attempting to escape from prison dressed as a sheep.
That sounds like something out of a Naked Gun top secret kind of movie.
In the middle of the night, he wrapped himself in a sheepskin fleece coat, crawled across the grasslands that surround the jail with other farm animals. Believe it or not, the Hammer and Nigel show, we've obtained exclusive audio of how he was apprehended. It's ridiculous.
Is bad?
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, fellas, we are looking up at Castleton Square Mall right now, and please avoid if you can. This is 82nd Street, east of 465 Castleton Square. Police are investigating a person shot. Inbound 69 is stop and go right now. 106th Street down to 82nd. South side, westbound 465 slows after I-65 over to US 31 and again around Harding. And eastbound 465 a little bit slow around 31. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the President's Day sale, Grand Appliance, for the lowest prices and extra savings you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at grandappliance.com. Grand Appliance, expert since 1930. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
32 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC. Is this anything next?
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with deals to power America's doers and dreamers. Save on select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for President's Day deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-787-2319. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-787-2319.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-787-2319. Ask about senior and military discounts. Ox covers commercial car owners, too. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-787-2319.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Jason Aldean. Highway Desperado Tour 2023. Saturday, September 16th, Ruoff Music Center. That's what tequila does. With Mitchell Tenpenny and Corey Kent. Jason Aldean. Presented by Wolf Moon Bourbon. On sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Did you know that the flu can put you at risk for pneumonia, which can lead to a hospital stay or even death? Did you know that inflation is over 7%? Want to fight both? Brangle Family Medicine and Research is testing Sanofi's investigational flu vaccine that uses new technology to fight the flu. Spots are limited, and compensation of up to $1,300 may be provided. Call or text 317-671-9168 to see if you qualify. 317-671-9168. Receive study-related care at no cost to you. 317-671-9168.
We love to binge watch.
And now with Lake City Bank Digital, we binge watch our money.
It has action.
Look, we can finally afford those obedience classes.
It has romance.
I bought you flowers.
Oh.
And they were on clearance.
Thanks. It has suspense.
What was that charge for? We can't look away.
Watch new episodes of Your Money unfold every day. Learn more at lakecitybank.com/digital. Member FDIC.
Skyworks Equipment Rental of Indianapolis has immediate openings for experienced parts coordinators, heavy equipment mechanics, CDL drivers, and outside sales reps. Full-time with medical, disability, PTO, 401k, and more. Apply today at skyworksllc.com/jobs. Skyworks, building America from the ground up.
Selling homes in today's market is tougher, but the outlook is improving. Interest rates have lowered and homes are selling. If you have been on the sidelines, now may be the time to sell. Talk to the agent I trust and recommend, Mark Dietl. Maybe you're worried you missed the boat on selling for maximum price. Mark Dietl guarantees an offer on your home in 3 days or it's listed for free. Get maximum convenience and maximum sales price. Listen to what Judy in Greenfield had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I was moving out of town and needed to sell fast. I also needed all my equity for my new place, so I needed a great price. I called Mark Dietl, and his team went above and beyond to market my home like crazy. Home sold in 9 days at list price. Call the agent I trust and recommend for the details. Mark Dietel guarantees an offer in 3 days for full market value, or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything? On 93 WIBC.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'll run some stories by you. You tell us if they're anything or not. It's that simple. So apparently Tiger Woods has upset the everything is sexist overlords. So while playing golf yesterday, Tiger Woods hit a longer drive than his playing partner, Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
And after he did that, he handed a little something to Mr. Thomas. It was a tampon. And now people are flipping out. Christine Brennan and all these other writers are upset with Tiger Woods. Is this anything?
No. I mean, it is. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I think it's cool that they've got a sense of humor in their, a guy in his mid-40s is still making jokes, and it's not all serious out on the golf course. And yes, there is woke outrage of Tiger Woods handing him a little tampon, basically saying, look, I'm the big man. I outdrove you. Here's your tampon, girly man.
Right.
I think it's hilarious. And I'll just give you an example of some of the woke criticism he's getting from, this one's from some woke feminist lawyer, quote, "See, it's funny because feminine hygiene products are inherently emasculating. So when a man makes another man touch a tampon, he's saying, I'm bigger and better than you because gross, I made you touch a wrapped Tampax."
Okay.
If Tiger, here's another one from the managing editor of USA Today's For the Win. Quote, "If Tiger spent 3 months a year bleeding and coping with period pain, they'd make a whole documentary about how champions overcome insurmountable obstacles."
Christine Brennan from the USA Today. Now, keep in mind, this is the same woman that said the Big Ten deciding to play football was the worst thing that's ever happened in the history of the conference. How did Tiger get his tampon? By his own? Or did he steal them from the women's locker room? So not only is he a sexist, he's a thief, according to Christine Brennan.
Probably said to his girlfriend, "Hey, let me have one of your tamps. I'm going to give it to Justin." Here's one. "Call me woke." This is from some guy named Josh. I don't know who he is.
I have a feeling I'm going to call him woke.
"Call me woke. Call me a snowflake. Call me offended, whatever. But handing another male golfer a tampon is objectively not funny. It shows the sophistication of a 14-year-old schoolboy." I think it shows he's still got a sense of humor. I mean, Tiger Woods is never joking around. He's always serious.
Good Lord. This is from Golf Week. Like, this is a big-time publication, Golf Week on Twitter. Really, Tiger? You're a 47-year-old girl dad, but thought a tampon stunt would be funny? Like, Golf Week has turned on Tiger Woods.
Here's one. "Really, Tiger? Do better." You want Tiger Woods to do better? He was banging Denny's waitresses,
right?
Just not a decade ago, and cheating on his wife. Now you're telling him to do better because he pulled a prank on his fellow golfer. Shut up! I think it's hilarious.
Before Tampon Gate was a thing, during the opening ceremony of the Genesis Invitational, the golf tournament that he's playing in, they were hyping up the return of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
They had him on a tight live camera shot, and when they got done talking, they zoomed in on Tiger, and he just hawked up a big loogie, just spit.
"It's Riviera, it's Tiger, it's the Palisades, and we are underway."
Did you catch that?
Play it again, Allison.
"It's Riviera, it's Tiger, it's the Palisades, and we are underway."
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're a fan of Tiger Woods and you've watched his career throughout the years, he does that all the time. He blows snot rockets. He'll put his finger on one nostril and get a snot rocket out of there. If you don't know what hawking a loogie means, by the way, it means to cough up, and according to the Urban Dictionary, to cough up and spit out a large glob of phlegm, usually resulting in a loud cough and throat clearing noise.
And if you don't know what a loogie is, we can't be friends, right? That's a term that's as old as time. When I was a little kid, we knew what loogies were. Dude, you're going to hawk up a big loogie.
By the way, Tiger, in danger of missing the cut. He is tied now for 68 at 1 over. It looked like he's going to need some help. It looks like that cut line is going to be 1 over this afternoon. So hopefully he makes it. All something to watch this weekend.
Allison, is that just a guy's term? Like loogie? Like, did you know what a loogie was?
Oh, I know exactly what a loogie is.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A busy afternoon for police. Cloudy, 29 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Maybe a few snow flurries on radar. Low supposed to drop to about 23 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 429. IMPD says a person was shot at the Castleton Square Mall this afternoon. They're being taken to the hospital. No word on any suspects or arrests yet. The shooting is still under investigation. More info is expected to be released later. We'll have it on the air and online at WIBC.com. Also, another shooting under investigation. Officers responded to North Linwood Avenue at East St. Clair Street today. They say that victim there is awake and breathing after being shot, and that is still under investigation. The unidentified flying object shot down by U.S. fighter jet over Lake Huron, it may never be recovered.
We haven't recovered it, so it's very difficult till you can get your hands on something to be able to tell. And because of where it is over Lake Huron, I mean, we all have to accept the possibility that we may not be able to recover it.
White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said it won't be clear what the object is until officials are able to get their hands on it. Police found a 3-year-old boy with a gunshot wound in Indianapolis this morning. IMPD says the boy accidentally shot himself in the hand and was taken to the hospital and is recovering. As for how he got a hold of that gun or who the gun belongs to, the cops are still trying to figure that part out. If you have any information, call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Inflation is likely to remain a problem, says economist Dr. Matt Will at the University of Indianapolis.
Low growth, high unemployment, high inflation. That's what they're forecasting.
Talking to WIBC's Tony Katz, he's referring to the Congressional Budget Office, who released analysis of this week's Producer Price Index report that shows that the prices that producers are paying to make the goods you buy are still pretty high, which means you'll probably keep paying more. And your stock report, the Dow finished up 129 to 33,826. The NASDAQ dropping 68 points today to 11,787. And the S&P 500 also down 11 points to 4,079. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:31.
I had the whole world in front of me when I was selling my home north of Indy. I was excited for my next big move. Matt Bear here. Hey, but selling my home was the one sticking point, that one thing that was keeping me from going from A to B. It was stressful. Not getting the offer I needed and being at the mercy of, yeah, we need to show your house, get out. I eventually just moved into a studio above my work. The building shook when a stiff breeze came through town. I could have skipped all of the hassles and sold directly to Open Door. They give you an all-cash offer on your house in a matter of days. Request that offer on your house in minutes. You can even choose your closing date to avoid transitional housing. Move when it works for your life. Sure, there isn't always a perfect time to move, but Open Door can help anytime be a perfect time. Take control of your move when you start with Open Door. Start with a free all-cash offer on your house today at opendoor.com. That's opendoor.com. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC and its other markets.
With traffic at 432, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, that's a stall coming out of the North Split eastbound as 70 right lane is blocked, causing a slowdown. We also have a slowdown coming into the North Split on southbound 65 from West Street to Meridian Penn. South side westbound 465 is busy after I-65 over to Bluff Road. That's stop-and-go traffic. Eastbound lanes also tight from Man over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Shop Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and gift-free padding. Yes, buy carpet, get free padding only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel and Carmel or on North Shadeland. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Much colder air settles in for us overnight as temperatures fall to the 20s. It will feel like the teens. Saturday, warming up, seeing partly sunny skies by afternoon, breezy conditions, and highs in the mid to upper 40s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
I'm counting down, so turn around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make that booty.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Hey, Matt Bear, are you there? Can you put your ears back in there for a second? I just wanted to give an update for everybody. There has been a person shot at the Castleton Square Mall. The person has been taken to the hospital. The suspected shooter is no longer there. We are unclear if the shooting happened in the mall or outside the mall, but did you mention there's some heavy traffic issues around Castleton Square Mall?
It's East 82nd Street to the east of 465 and Allisonville Road in. I'm seeing some of the pictures of the police activity, and you do have police tape out there, as in do not cross, so this is not a place to go to right now. Castleton Square Mall, if you can stay clear, that would be outstanding. Kind of let the police run their investigation, figure out what's going on up there right now.
And it's normally pretty busy at this time of day anyway, especially on a Friday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we don't want to discourage people from shopping, but at the same time, this is a big thing as far as lots of police presence is what I mean there. So please, if you can stay clear for a little bit, that would be outstanding.
And again, just to reiterate, the victim, it seems like the victim is alive and okay and has been taken to the hospital, and the police say that the suspected shooter is not in the area anymore, don't have any more details than that. Of course, we'll keep you updated with another traffic report here with Matt Bear in just a few minutes.
Got a little breaking news here in regards to the Delphi investigation. Attorneys with the prosecutors and the defense met virtually today to set up a bail time for the suspect, Richard Allen. And Richard Allen's bail hearing has been set for Thursday, June 15th at 8:30 a.m. in Carroll County. June 15th is the bail hearing, and the reason why is that the attorneys representing Richard Allen said they got all the evidence from the prosecutors on Monday, and they expect to take 4 to 8 weeks to kind of go through everything. So they want to go through all of the evidence that everybody has before they have the bail hearing, which means Richard Allen's going to sit in there until June 15th.
I'm not necessarily upset about that. Innocent until proven guilty, obviously. I don't know. I mean, what good is a bail hearing going to do if they set the bail and it's so high he's not going to be able to pay it anyway? He could barely afford a public defender or a private lawyer. He had to request a public defender.
Right. So, now, at that bail hearing on June 15th, it's anticipated that all parties, the defense and the prosecution, are going to start talking about alternative dates to start the actual trial, because it sounds like it would be shocking if this thing started by the end of this calendar year.
Jeez.
So
I mean, we just passed the 6-year anniversary, the unfortunate anniversary of the killings of Abby and Libby. And you remember this started out like days, then weeks, then months go by. We don't have a suspect. We don't have any information. We have conflicting reports. We have different composite sketches of this monster. And we have confusing and sometimes vague police updates and press conferences. And now that we have a suspect in custody, it's going to take more than a year for this thing to even go to trial. We can't even get a bail hearing. He's been arrested since late last year. He's been incarcerated since late last year. And you're telling me a bail hearing is not going to happen until June now?
And this is from both parties involved.
I
though.
understand, and I understand you want to be very thorough.
Right.
In something
You can't
like
screw
this.
any of this up.
But even the logistics of getting potential jurors from Allen County to come hear this thing, it seems like a very, very, I don't want to say impossible task, but very just difficult and arduous process.
And the longer that this drags out, the less likely you're going to be able to find somebody who, quote, hasn't heard of the trial. Because that's why they're going to Allen County, basically, to find the jury.
You know, here's the thing. Could you still serve on a jury and not have heard of the trial?
I mean, that's what they're looking for.
Let me ask you this. You sat on a pretty high-profile jury. Had you not heard about the story before they asked you to be on the trial?
Mine, I had not. Now, mine was nowhere near what we're dealing with here.
I understand.
But it was a story that had been in the news, and I was not aware of it.
Okay.
You know, I was working at the casino at the time, and maybe it's because I wasn't so tied into the news cycle every single day.
I'm just wondering if that's the requirement to serve on a jury, is you can't have heard or read about this crime in any way, shape, or form. And I would say you're right, Hammer. That's next to impossible for this story anyway.
I know they still ask it. They still ask it, and whether or not they accept you or decline you as a juror, that's one of the questions. Now, people can lie, too. So it's going to be interesting to see who they select for this, but we're a long, long way away.
Would you do it again? Would you do, if you got a jury summons, you know, like would you like to do that again, or was it an awful just experience for you?
I was fascinated with the trial that I had, and Alice and I were just talking about this the other day. If I knew I could get something like I had, like a high-profile murder, because, you know, the stuff that they showed me, the crime scene pictures, the morgue pictures, because they're trying to match, you know, bullets with wounds, and it was fascinating. I would do that again in a heartbeat because I would want justice for the family. Now, if I got selected and I had to sit through like 6 hours of insurance fraud.
No, thanks.
No, thanks. I'm good.
Did they show you up close pictures of the victims and their wounds?
Yes,
and
sir.
Their bodies that were, you know, deceased?
Yes, sir.
And was it graphic? I mean, was it pretty like...
A little bit. Some of them were the scenes, you know, after they had cleaned the body off from the morgue, because they want to show you because there was a shooting involved. They wanted to show you the bullet wounds and where person was shot at.
Okay.
And there were some grisly crime scene pictures, though, because there were multiple people involved and questions from the defense and prosecution involved with who was where during what time. So they had to show you all that kind of stuff. All the while, these scumbags that did this are sitting right across from you, and they're staring daggers at you. Like they're trying to intimidate everybody in that jury. And I would absolutely do that again in a heartbeat.
You didn't get sequestered, did you?
No, they let us go home at night. They just said, do not look up information about the trial.
Did you?
Coming up a little bit later on, Beer Sample Friday. I can't wait for that. They're going to have some beverages in here. I mean, it was such a cut and dry case, though, Nige.
No,
it was so easy. The judge, after we were done, was upset that it took so long. And this was a judge that had been in the game for a long time. It was a very well-known, high-profile judge, but we had one holdout in the jury pool, a very woke, now this is before woke was a term, but very progressive teacher from Warren Central High School that did not want to follow the law.
But the expectation of, you know, hey, we're going to let you guys go home. Don't you dare look this up on Google. I mean, okay.
Right.
You want to believe the jurors are going to do the right thing, but lawyers and judges probably all understand that they're all going to go and look it up and read about it. That doesn't.
And it was such a slam dunk, too. It wasn't like something that could go either way where, okay, if you look something up, maybe it'll taint your judgment. This was a matter of he was there, he did this was an accomplice. You followed all of the tracking of their cell phones. This should have been in and out, but because somebody doesn't want to the law in the state of Indiana. We were there longer than we should have been.
Mark the tape there, 4:42 p.m. on a Friday. Hammer says taint. I'm surprised that's the only time we've heard that word during this show.
Certainly not the first time we've said it on the air, just the first time today. I've got some bad news for you here, Nige. The world's biggest food company says prices are going to go up more this year. The fine folks at Nestle, the world's largest food group, say the price of staple items will go up even more this year. And we're not just talking about chocolate stuff, right? Because you hear Nestle and you think chocolate. We're talking about their frozen dinner line and everything else, from coffee to frozen dinners and everything in between. They're anticipating it to go up again this year.
But Joe Biden's doing a victory lap on inflation. And wage increase, quote unquote wage increase.
Right.
Like Tommy Pickett said earlier from the RNC Rapid Response Team, that's an insult to people when you try to fool them. Skyrocketing inflation. But hey, look, it's come down a little bit and wages are growing. No, that's not the way it works. Wages aren't growing.
Compared to the inflation, they're not.
It's not.
If you got like a 2% raise this year, is that offsetting the cost of inflation? No, it's not. For most people, it's not. Right now, according to the Consumer Price Index, here are 6 popular grocery items that are surging in price. Like they're going up every single day more and more. Spaghetti and macaroni, flour and sugar, chocolate chip cookies, bread, American cheese, and eggs. All of those things people buy on a regular basis. Maybe you don't get chocolate chip cookies, but for the most part, there's something on that list that you buy on a regular basis.
Yeah, I wonder how much more of the basic blue box Kraft macaroni has gone up, because it's usually like, 50 cents a box? I don't know how much that increase is, but maybe, especially some of those frozen, like Bob Evans macaroni, which we buy sometimes, which you could throw in the oven or the microwave. Those prices are ridiculous. They're through the roof.
We've got some tickets to give away. And you know what? Today, I'm just going to make it real easy. There's no game you have to play. You don't have to listen to Allison. You don't have to do any of this stuff. All you got to do is be caller number 9. Jason Aldean, Ruoff Music Center, September 16th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful fall concert. Live Nation is hooking us up here. Just be caller number 9, 239-9393. And don't be like the guy on our Facebook page complaining, saying that it's fixed. I'm sorry you weren't caller number 9, but the WIBC signal goes as far north as Lafayette, as far south as the Ohio border, and there's quite a bit of people in Indianapolis, all calling at the same time. It's not fixed. Good Lord. These are the same people that used to bother me when I worked at the casino, Nigel. The slot machines are fixed. No, the odds are against you. That's all that it is. Caller number 9, 239-9393.
What if you didn't have to continue working to live a lifestyle you're happy with? What if you could spend the rest of your life doing what you want to do when you want to do it, not worrying about others claiming your time and energy? Aspiring retirees want to know how to achieve the work-optional lifestyle. A much better question is, who can help you achieve this lifestyle? Working because you want to, not because you have to, is financial freedom. This is Brian Singer. My friend and colleague Casey Weed, the founder of Howard Bailey Financial, wrote a best-selling book titled Job Optional. I'm excited to be part of a team that has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a job-optional lifestyle. The Howard Bailey Retire with Purpose framework looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. Retire with Purpose puts all the pieces of the puzzle together in a process designed to bring predictability and purpose to your financial life. We're not all things to all people. We are all things to some people. This means we primarily work with people who understand you don't need to know how, you just need to know who. Who knows how to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to support your one-of-a-kind lifestyle? Who can do that for you and do it so well that advisor team is the last team you will ever need or want? We work with people who expect their relationship with us to be transformational rather than transactional. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a retirement readiness review and see how the Retire with Purpose process might transform your life. 317-852-9153.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved. Job Option was the #1 Amazon bestseller in retirement planning on 7/2/19 and a Wall Street Journal ebook bestseller on 8/9/19.
At Progressive, we know there's nothing like the feeling of riding your motorcycle with your buddies on the open road. It's a potent cocktail of thrills, laughter, and pure adrenaline. A feeling that would be impossible to recreate on the radio. Until now. Hit it, sound effects guy.
I'm real proud of you, son.
Wow, that was terrible. Our apologies for even trying. Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Ready for spring? How about a trip to Sullivan Hardware and Garden or Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan, where you can smell that spring is in the air? Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, everything is 20% off. Best pricing of the season on premium patio furniture, already pre-season priced at 30% off. You got it, take an extra 20% off. Now, this only happens once a year. All grills and accessories, 20% off. Best deal of the year on all gas, wood pellet grills, and the Big Green Egg. Everything in lawn and garden, including the Scott's 4-step annual lawn care program, 20% off. Even Benjamin Moore paint is 20% off. Visit the Yellow House at Sullivan's, where all gifts, garden, and home accents are, yes, 20% off. Come smell spring is in the air this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, where everything is 20% off. Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and get free padding. Yes, buy carpet, get free padding. Only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shaylin. Find Drexel at drexel-in.com.
So we had a shooting near the Castleton Square Mall earlier today. Again, we're not quite sure if it was inside the mall, outside the mall. We know the IMPD is having their public information officer on the way to the mall right now. But because of that police activity, Matt, you were telling us earlier there's a little bit of backup and delays.
Yeah, you need to avoid Castleton Square Mall, and we're talking about the north side here, 82nd Street to the east of Allisonville Road and I-465. A large police presence. Areas are taped off right now. Do not cross police lines, and we need to stay clear here for a little bit until they wrap up their investigation and get all this straightened out. But yeah, there was a shooting at Castleton Square Mall. Please avoid. Looking at Pendleton, southbound 69 stopped right now from State Road 38 for about 2.5 miles. That's because of police activity on the right shoulder. Same thing with the northbound lanes also stopped in the same area. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and gift-free padding. Yes, buy carpet and gift-free padding only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shadeland. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
30 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. We've got a COVID-19 update that'll probably make your blood boil. There's a headline from NBC that would have gotten everybody canceled. It would have gotten us thrown off the air if we would have talked about this headline, maybe even less than a year ago. That's coming up after 5 o'clock. We've got a huge story after 5:30 about Joe Biden and secret China donations to the University of Delaware and how they spiked through the roof after the opening of the Biden Institute there. That you're not going to want to miss that. That's a little bit after 5:30. This YouTuber, some famous YouTuber gamer, called I Show Speed. My kid probably knows who this guy is. But this is funny, though. They went from excited to frustrated. He got a FaceTime call from Drake.
Oh, wow.
Big time.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah. When he called Drake's voice, listen to this FaceTime call. When he called Drake's voice sexy, the call went dead. And, you see him throw his headset down, and he was wondering if he said the wrong thing to Drake.
Drake, what's up, dog? Yo, you look great right now. What's up? Yo, you look good, bro. What you doing right now?
I'm proud of you, boy.
You proud of me? Hey, you gotta understand, for me, this is crazy, Drake, bro. I'm a huge fan of you, bro.
I got a lot of love for you, man. Like I said, I'm proud of you. You're doing your thing, man.
Bro, your voice is so sexy. Bro, how is it so smooth like that? Like, how your voice so smooth like that, bro? How you... He's not gonna answer the phone again, bro. I said it wrong, bro. Like, I meant to say his voice is smooth, but I said it wrong. I wanted to say, like, his voice was so smooth.
Drake obviously knew who this YouTuber was.
Said he was proud of him.
Yeah. Now, by the way, Drake was in a stairwell, so the call probably just dropped.
But it's even funnier if he just would have hung up. All right, I'm out.
Yeah. Why would you hang up on the guy and he said your voice is sexy?
I don't know. Maybe Drake doesn't find that kind of stuff amusing.
Do you call people back when it goes dead, or like after enough has been said, you just... I've had that before. I'm talking about one of my buddies, and we're trying to figure out what's going on for the night or where we're going to meet, and the call drops, and I'm just like, all right, screw it. I'm not calling him back.
If the call drops, I'm out, unless it's like my wife or kids or something. I hate talking on the phone. Text me. Because a lot of times with the job we have, Nige, we can't always answer the phone. Maybe we're recording something, we're doing production, we're on the air. Yeah. So just text me. Like, I hate when people call. It's just the worst. Hey, real quick, congratulations to a friend of the show, Connor Daly. He qualified for the Daytona 500 this Sunday. It wasn't pretty, man. His car was a piece of crap. It was bouncing. It was shaking. He had to beat out two other guys to get in the field in the qualification race, and those two guys crashed out in the same crash.
Ooh.
So Connor Daly's rickety car,
skin of his teeth,
made it into the race. He's racing for Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's money team bought a NASCAR ride for the Daytona 500. So good for Connor Daly. And you may have heard this in the news earlier. Today marks 100 days until the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500.
Wow.
100 days away. So in order to get everybody in the mood, how about some words of wisdom from AJ Foyt?
Hammer and Nigel present Words of Wisdom with AJ Foyt.
It was Jeff Andretti that got...
Well, yeah, he's all over the goddamn track. You don't know where the hell he's going. Kept him knocking him through the goddamn wall. I'm tired of this shit. Got people out there that shouldn't even be in the goddamn race car.
Words of Wisdom with AJ Foyt.
Oh, I can't wait. We're 100 days away.
Come on, baby.
Don't go anywhere. Top stories coming up next. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. Periodic maintenance works, especially when it comes to your well and well pump. And C&J Well can schedule your preventive 6-point well care today, including a thorough piping exam, a switch analysis, a pressure tank check, a flow evaluation, and an AMPS test on the pump, and a bacteria sampling. Normally $450, but it's $100 off right now for $350. Keep your water source healthy and dependable. C&J Well Company. They're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-852-WELL or go to cjforwater.com.
Turn to the experts at Howald Heating and Carrier for all your heating needs. Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good. Online at howaldheatingandair.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
My name is Sophie.
Sasha.
Robert.
Ron. And I'm alive thanks to my nurse practitioner.
My nurse practitioner saved me from a lifelong heart condition.
She prescribed the right medication. My NP diagnosed my multi-organ failure.
My NP listens.
She saved my life. Twice. And I will always be grateful.
To learn why millions of people choose NPs, visit us at wechoosenps.org.
Paid for by AANP.
Get 3 rooms of carpets zero-res cleaned for only $139, and that's really cleaned. 388-5141 or online at zeroresindy.com.
Hey, it's Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's our 96th birthday, so we're having a sale. Now through Monday, save on everything from Lazy Boy, Indiana-made Smith Brothers of Bern, mattresses by Sealy, Stearns & Foster, even Tempur-Pedic. Spring is right around the corner, so save big on Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery and interest-free financing.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what police are saying so far about the shooting at the Castleton Square Mall this afternoon. John Herrick reports on a child who's okay after accidentally shooting themselves this morning. And we're 100 days away from the Indy 500. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Another mass shooting. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. An investigation's underway into fatal shootings in rural Mississippi.
The Mississippi Department of Public Safety confirms at least 6 people have been fatally shot in Tate County, about 30 miles south of Memphis. An unnamed suspect is in custody and a motive is unclear. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves' office says he has been briefed on the shooting. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is helping with the investigation. The gunman reportedly opening fire at multiple locations, including a store and a residence.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. U.S. Central Command says a helicopter raid last night in Syria killed senior ISIS leader Hamza al-Hamzi, who managed the group's terror network in that region.
An explosion during the raid also resulted in 4 U.S. troops and 1 of the working dogs suffering some injuries.
White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says the service members and working dog are in stable condition and are being treated at a U.S. medical facility in Iraq. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is asking countries for more support, warning Russia's spring offensive has started.
Zelensky invoked the popular Bible story of David and Goliath in his country's fight against Russia.
We can make it, all of us together, just as David did. We can make sure that there is no alternative to our victory.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said this week that the United States is currently training Ukrainian troops to use Bradley infantry fighting vehicles and Stryker vehicles in Germany.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. The search has ended for remnants of the Chinese spy balloon shot down off the South Carolina coast earlier this month after floating across the U.S. airspace. Officials say debris recovered from the Atlantic indicates the electronics carried by the balloon were used for spying. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What IMPD knows so far: 29 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Radar shows you may be dealing with some light snow. The low falls to about 23 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for Lake City Bank. Here's what's trending at 5:02. IMPD responded to Castleton Square Mall this afternoon for a shooting.
Those officers quickly arrived and discovered a male, not quite sure of an age as of yet. And that male did sustain injuries consistent with a gunshot wound.
Public Information Officer William Young, that victim was found inside the mall and sent to the hospital. The mall was then put on lockdown. Young says officers are talking to people of interest and the mall will be closed for the rest of the day. They don't believe there's a current threat to the public. Police also responded to another shooting this afternoon at North Linwood Avenue at East St. Clair Street. They say the victim there is awake and breathing after they were shot, and it's still being investigated. Police found a 3-year-old boy with a gunshot wound in Indianapolis this morning. John Herrick reports.
IMPD says the boy accidentally shot himself in the hand. He was taken to a hospital and is recovering. As for how the boy got a hold of the gun or who the gun belongs to, they're trying to figure that out. If you have any information, call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IndyCar driver Connor Daly will be racing in this year's Daytona 500.
I'm just super excited about it. It's a very, very special opportunity to get to do this.
Daly finished high enough in one of the dual qualifying races last night to secure a spot for his TMT Motorsports team, which is owned by boxer Floyd Mayweather. If you're not already counting the days down, we've got 100 of them until the next Indianapolis 500. Kurt Darling reports.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Bowles, as always, is bullish on how this year's race is shaping up. He says ticket sales are outpacing this point last year.
After last year's Indianapolis 500, we have been significantly up over the 2022 year. So as long as we can kind of keep that pace going, we'll definitely see a larger crowd in 2023.
Bowles also says there's already 33 cars entered to try and qualify, which has him hopeful that more will enter and bring back bumping during qualifying. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Window Nation has the coolest deal ever for keeping you warm. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and pay 0 interest for 24 months. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of Window Nation's deep discounts, all while reinvesting in your biggest asset. Not to mention the savings on your energy bills for years to come. Up to 43% of your home utility bill goes to heating and cooling. With Window Nation windows, you can cut those energy bills during these cold winter months by keeping your hot air in and cold air outside.
Go with the window company that has installed over 1 million windows in over 150,000 homes, including mine. All with a 96% customer satisfaction. Call 866-90-NATION to get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy, no limit. Plus, no down payments, no interest for 24 months. Call Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, again, stay away from Castleton Square Mall for the remainder of the day. The mall is closed because of a shooting that happened inside the mall. That's 82nd Street, east of Allisonville Road and 465. I-69 having trouble in Pendleton right now. We are stopped and go southbound 69 after State Road 38 to State Road 13 because of police activity on the right shoulder. Northbound lanes have the same thing right now, so we're stopped from State Road 13 near State Road 38 at a crash on the west side, Rockville Road, east of High School. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. Dell Technologies President's Day business sale starts now with savings on select business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Call 877-ASK-DELL. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Much colder air settles in for us overnight as temperatures fall to the 20s. It will feel like the teens. Saturday, warming up, seeing partly sunny skies by afternoon, breezy conditions, and highs in the mid to upper 40s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Oh, man. Big hour coming up. The crazy coupon lady.
Oh, she's back.
Crystal Hammer is back. I can't wait to talk to her. That's about 5:20. Then at 5:30, Rebecca Mansour, Breitbart senior editor. This story is it's eye-opening. It's jaw-dropping. Secret China donations to the University of Delaware have soared, have just shot through the roof after the opening of the Biden Institute there from government institutions in China. So you're going to want to hear about that. That's at 5:30. But right now, let's check in with America's battle with COVID-19.
Uh-oh! COVID-19. Oh, I swear that I mean at this moment.
There are three vaccines.
Three.
Right.
China, piss off. Now you've made
everybody on a Friday
nervous because of
COVID-19. Headline from NBC. So this is not, this is a mainstream corporate outlet, Hammer. Natural immunity from a COVID infection is as protective as vaccination against severe illness and death, study finds.
So the new study, and this is a brand new study, says that having natural immunity is better than the vaccine. Donald Trump Jr., your thoughts?
No shit. Who could have seen that coming? I had no idea.
I remember the good old days when you'd be banned off Twitter. On any social media platform, if you just mentioned natural immunity from COVID, herd immunity, therapeutics, if it was anything other than the vaccine.
Hydroxychloroquine.
If it was anything other than the vaccine that includes natural immunity, you were outcast. You were shunned. You were a COVID denier. You were an anti-vaxxer. And now you have headlines on mainstream corporate news outlets talking about studies of how natural immunity is just as good, if not better, than the vaccine. I'm stunned, especially since you and I have been talking about this going on 3 years now.
Right. And it didn't feel like it was rocket science.
No.
If you had it, you probably have more immunities against it than somebody who hasn't had it, or even the vaccine. And here's what sucks, Nige. We were joking about social media, people getting kicked off of Twitter. People were fired from their jobs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Places of business were told, you have to get this vaccine.
Military.
Our business, MS Communications, our former owner,
right.
They said if you don't get this vaccine, or if you're not willing to take a test every couple of days, you're going to lose your job, even if you've had it. I was willing to provide a medical note from my doctor that said, this guy had it.
Yeah.
He's got the immunities. He's got the antibodies and blah, 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 blah. That wasn't going to be good enough. And there's a lot of people like myself that felt like they had to get this vaccine because they would lose their jobs and they provide for their families.
Not only that, but they lied to us about the vaccine from the very beginning. They knew this from the very beginning, especially from a study that just came out, including Dr. Fauci's name on it, that said that they knew that the vaccine wasn't effective in stopping transmission. They knew the vaccine wasn't effective in stopping infection. Maybe it lessened the effects for a couple of months, and certainly with the boosters. By the way, the stats right now with the vaccine, they've just plummeted. People getting this thing, if you look at the stats, they're in the gutter.
Because now we know it doesn't matter. You can still get it. You can still spread it. And save that company line of, even though I got it and had it for 3 weeks, it'd be way worse if I didn't have it. Stop that. And I admit, I had to get this thing because I was the provider of my family. Hats off to a lot of those people who did not get this and said, you know what, the job isn't that important to me. I didn't really have that option, and I hate that was put in front of me.
Let me just read what this article says verbatim so you don't think we're making this up. This is from NBC. Immunity acquired from a COVID infection provides strong, lasting protection against the most severe outcomes of the illness, according to research published Thursday in The Lancet. Protection, experts say, that's on par with what's provided through 2 doses of the vaccine, the mRNA vaccines. Infection-acquired immunity cut the risk of hospitalizations and death from a COVID reinfection by 88% for at least 10 months.
Yesterday's conspiracy theory is today's truth. We're seeing that a lot, about a lot of things. So we have an update on a story we had yesterday. Yesterday, we played you the audio of Don Lemon, CNN's low-rated morning host, basically saying that Nikki Haley and all women over the age of 40 are past their prime.
She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, it'll say, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about
the message
prime
I'm
for
just
being
saying
president?
what the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime.
It's just so funny because he was trying to get at her because Nikki Haley was implying that, past the age of 75, 80, maybe we should look at some of the capabilities of people that are running for office and going through tests. So he's trying to, send a grenade her way. She just picked it up and threw it right back, basically, and it exploded in his face.
She was this close to smacking the makeup off of Don Lemon at that point. Like, Poppy Harlow was ticked off.
Yeah.
You could tell she didn't want to put up with that crap. Caitlin Collins on the other side was just kind of rolling her eyes.
But, I mean, it really just boomeranged around and bit him in the butt. It really didn't make any sense. I mean, Kamala Harris is 58 years old. Oh, does he think that Joe Biden is past his prime? He's 81, for God's sake.
Kamala Harris is just as dumb now as she was when she was in her 20s.
Don Lemon's older. Don Lemon is older than Nikki Haley. What's he talking about? Yeah, well, look, just Google it.
Look it up.
I feel like that's some, comedian shtick. Look it up. Just Google it.
The only thing we're missing is the "It's State Law" from Donnie Baker right there. So we have an update. This morning in the big meeting that takes place before they go on the air, old Don Lemon had to apologize to the editorial staff for, quote, offensive remarks to women.
I think he had the day off. I think this was from Twitter. I'm not sure that he was on the air today. Not that I DVR the show every day. I just missed it this morning. I'll go back and watch it after I watch.
You were 2 episodes in the View, and you couldn't have time to catch up.
What did he? So let me hear this groveling apology.
Quote, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I did not mean to offend anyone. What I said came out wrong, and I wish I hadn't said it. I believe women of any age can do anything they set their minds to.
No, you don't.
The people I'm closest to in this organization are women." Well, we kind of figured that.
But he doesn't believe that. First of all, don't apologize. If that's what you believe, that's what you said, own up to it. You said Nikki Haley is past her prime, and this kind of goes back in what he's saying. That's not what he believes. He Googled it. It's science.
All right, Matt Baer standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, a police investigation happening right now, 82nd Street east of 465 at Castleton Square Mall. It is a shooting investigation. One person shot, and the mall is going to be closed for the rest of the evening, so we need to stay clear. Inbound 69, slow 96th Street down to 82nd. We have a crash on the west side. It's Rockville Road east of High School. And then southbound 465 slows from 72, the White River. Northbound 69, Pendleton stopped at State Road 13. Southbound lanes also in bad shape because of police activity. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you've earned doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
30 degrees at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, every day is a great escape. With 35 miles of white sand, there's no better place to get away. So let's explore the secluded beaches of Fort DeSoto or paddle our way around Honeymoon Island. Let's kick back, kayak, and catch crimson sunsets. Let's trade snow boots for bathing suits. Let's make today and tomorrow a beach day. Let's shine. Plan your escape at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
Mom, Dad, Sis?
Here we go again.
Why are you in a suit? Picture, if you will, a world with the best network imaginable. I'm talking about the Xfinity 10G network.
Go on.
Mom, remember how your reality shows wouldn't load with all of us online? Now you can binge. And Susie, we'll have fast internet in the basement.
Nice.
If you have any questions, here's my card.
This is just your name on a gum wrapper.
Introducing the 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Now through March 21st, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Plus, there's no annual contract required and you get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
I had the whole world in front of me when I was selling my home north of Indy. I was excited for my next big move. Matt Bear here. Hey, but selling my home was the one sticking point, that one thing that was keeping me from going from A to B. It was stressful. Not getting the offer I needed and being at the mercy of, yeah, we need to show your house, get out. I eventually just moved into a studio above my work. The building shook when a stiff breeze came through town. I could have skipped all of the hassles and sold directly to Open Door. They give you an all-cash offer on your house in a matter of days. Request that offer on your house in minutes. You can even choose your closing date to avoid transitional housing. Move when it works for your life. Sure, there isn't always a perfect time to move, but Open Door can help anytime be a perfect time. Take control of your move when you start with Open Door. Start with a free all-cash offer on your house today at opendoor.com. That's opendoor.com. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC and its other markets.
People everywhere are binge watching their money. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. When checking met savings.
Together we make so much sense.
Also featuring the day the spending stopped.
Sometimes saving money just feels so right.
And the incredible shrinking debt.
Honey, come look. Our loan balance is so tiny.
Plus, adventures of the penny pincher.
My journey has not been an easy one, but my budget is going to survive.
Watch new episodes of Your Money unfold every day. Now streaming on Lake City Bank Digital. Learn more at lakecitybank.com/digital. Member FDIC.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with deals to power America's doers and dreamers. Save on select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for President's Day deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Patio furniture preseason priced at 30% off. This weekend, get an extra 20% off at Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan.
Ah, jeez, you guys are freaking me out.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Stop it.
93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer has a very special and lovely guest on the DriveHubler.com hotline.
She is my better half, but more importantly, she's out of her mind. She's the crazy coupon lady, Crystal Hammer, back on the Hammer and Nigel show. How are you, love?
I'm good. I'm back.
Crystal,
you are.
It's been a couple of weeks, and I'm just assuming, by the way, I want to know right off the bat, I'm assuming Hammer came home Valentine's Day night with a bouquet of flowers, a box of chocolates. He rubbed your feet. He let you, you took a bath while he got the kids out of the house. I'm assuming all that happened on Valentine's Day for you.
Absolutely not. If he walked through that door with flowers, I would take those flowers and hit him with them and kick him back out, because that is a waste of money.
I told you.
You did.
People don't believe that we view Valentine's Day as a big Hallmark holiday pain in the ass, and I'm glad to hear those words coming out of your mouth.
Honestly, now I will admit, I do buy my boys something for Valentine's because I do love them. But we celebrate Valentine's Day on February 15th. That way I can go and get everything 50% off.
That's right. All the candy is on sale the day
exactly
after.
What I did.
They don't call her the crazy coupon lady for nothing.
Right?
Very smart thinking there.
Candy's candy, right? I mean, they're going to eat it. So, yeah, when I got off work on Wednesday, I went to Walgreens, looked at what they had 50% off, made them a little nice basket, and was like, Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
There you go. And again, we got boys at home, and they didn't expect anything anyway, but they'll be more than happy to eat chocolate bars.
Is your boys going out with any chicks, high school chicks? Did, like, Christopher buy anybody else a Valentine's Day card or flowers or anything like that? Or
Not Christopher, but our youngest has a friend. Now she is just a friend, though. They're not boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, I know how that starts.
Yeah.
So, yes, he did buy her a small little Valentine's Day gift, but they didn't exchange it on Valentine's Day. They didn't want to do it at school because they didn't want anybody to see.
Sure.
So they're getting together this weekend to exchange Valentine's Day gifts.
Was it good parenting on my behalf to tell our youngest, Jacob, that you're making a mistake? You never try to get into a relationship around Valentine's Day because you get stuck having to buy a gift.
You break up before Valentine's Day.
Right. You get together after Valentine's Day and you break up before Christmas.
Exactly. And then that way you don't have to do Christmas or Valentine's Day.
Total rookie move on Jacob's part, but I think he'll learn from it.
And before we get to some of these deals you have going on, because you're the crazy coupon lady, you know about rebates, you know about the coupons. I saw the Hammer spread for Super Bowl, and I'm coming over next year. That looked unbelievable.
It was kind of a hodgepodge of, food. Like, we asked the boys, what were some of the things that they wanted. Chris wanted barbecue ribs, so I actually made those myself. And then my youngest wanted wings from Outback, and they had a great deal because their wings are expensive. I think you get like 10 for $16 or $17.
Whoa.
But they had buy 57 wings for $57, and I said, bingo. We're doing that.
Wow.
And they lasted 24 hours in the house. 24 hours. And Jacob ate about 85% of them.
I think he did. In fact, he ate the leftovers the next day.
All right, so let's get down to business here. Everything seems like it's more expensive. We had an inflation report that came out this week that says pretty much everything you're looking for at the grocery store is more expensive. Help us out here. Save us some money on some things that we like.
It is more expensive. In fact, I'm finding it harder and harder every day to find deals that I want to do. In fact, I also wanted to tell people that you notice that I haven't been on for the last couple of weeks, and it's okay to take breaks. Sometimes you got to take breaks from couponing because it gets to be too much. But I did find some of the Freschetta frozen pizzas at Kroger, which, in our house, we go through pizza like it's water. And they are regularly priced at $6.49, on sale for $4.99. But if you clip the Kroger weekly digital coupon, you can get those pizzas for $3.99. So that's almost 50% off.
That's solid. That's solid, man.
Frozen pizzas are a staple in our household, too. Yeah, we get those bruschetta pizzas sometimes. My kids like those little mini Red Baron pizzas, like the singles, which are still expensive. Prices are through the roof, and it's really affecting people. I see it with my own eyes. Just like, man, we spent how much on groceries this week?
Yeah,
it's
anytime
crazy.
I can find pizzas at almost 50% off, I'm buying them.
Yep.
I don't care what brand they are, I'm buying them because, pizza's pizza to me. And just so you know, though, that is a limit of 5. So pick up all 5 in one transaction.
All right, so we've got pizzas covered here. What else is on your checklist?
Another thing I found was the 24-pack of purified water, Kroger bottled water. Normally is priced $3.69 for a 24-pack. It's on sale for $2.99. But if you clip that Kroger weekly digital coupon, you can get a 24-pack for just $2.49.
Now, that is awesome. That's a good deal.
It is. And let's be honest, we're probably going to be drinking bottled water after that whole train derailment in Ohio. So I'd pick up all 5. And if you know anybody down there that needs some water, even find a charity that's sending water to these people.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Because they're certainly not getting much help from the government, but that's a separate discussion.
Yeah,
that's a separate
big middle
discussion.
finger from FEMA to the people in Ohio.
I don't understand that at all.
So we got pizza, we got water, you got anything else?
I got one more thing. In our household, we have kids that play sports. We have one that, does competitive skateboarding. And so sometimes I don't have time to get them a meal, and we have to have protein bars on hand. And they like the pure protein bars. And those things are so expensive. But a box of those are $8.99. They're on sale for $7.99. And if you clip that Kroger weekly digital coupon, you could actually get them for $5.99 a box.
Now, these coupons you're talking about, Crystal, they're from the Kroger app. Is that correct?
That is correct. You clip them directly on the Kroger app, and once you have clipped them, when you go to the store, it automatically comes off once you type in your phone number.
Did you happen to get into anybody's face at the Beech Grove Bowling semi-state finals, like you did maybe a few months ago? Any fingers and faces or anything like that?
No. Honestly. The thing was, for us, it was pretty much a home match because the semi-state was at Expo Bowl. So the amount of people that we had there cheering, I think everybody was pretty annoyed with the fact that we were cheering so loud. But we didn't care. The kids loved it, and they were smiling.
Is it like golf? Like you have to be quiet when they're bowling?
No.
It's not?
No.
Really?
No, I know most people think they have to come and be quiet and not say a word.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute the kids throw the ball, if they get a strike, you're going to hear a huge uproar, and everybody else is still bowling. Like, it's nothing like what you see on TV. I mean, people cheer constantly. The kids have chants. So if somebody gets a strike, they have a chant that they do, and the parents do it right along with them, and it's so much fun.
Now, to be fair, your Aunt Tammy almost got into a little action.
Well,
Aunt Tammy?
Yeah, my Aunt Tammy was pretty loud, and unfortunately, she made this older lady actually leave her seat. And then, of course, my aunt, God love her, was just laughing so loud, going, "I made that old lady move."
Yeah! Damn right, Tammy.
Boy.
Bring that heat, Tammy. I love it. All right. If somebody wants more information on the coupon game, how do they reach out to you?
They can find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search my name, but it's spelled CHRYSTAL, just like the stripper.
There it is. The crazy coupon lady, Crystal Hammer. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We got a special guest coming up here next night.
Yeah, Rebecca Mansour is a senior editor at Breitbart. She's got this story about Joe Biden and his financial ties with China and how China, the government, their donations have soared to some of his foundations at Delaware and Pennsylvania, and it's going to make your jaw drop.
We've got that and Beer Sample Friday on the way. Right now, look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Well, the cops were at the Castleton Square Mall this afternoon. Cloudy, 28 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar's mostly clear. You may have seen some snow flurries earlier. Low drops down to 23 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. One person is in stable condition after being shot inside Castleton Square Mall Friday afternoon. Indy Metro Police Officer William Young says detectives will be there all night.
There were multiple witnesses that stayed on scene and are speaking with our detectives.
One man was still in the parking lot when police entered the mall.
A lot of officers are entering the front of Castle Square Mall. I do not know what's going on. They are strapped up in their vests, though.
Officer Young says police are talking to multiple persons of interest. Officers also responded to another shooting, this one at North Linwood Avenue at East St. Clair Street. They say the victim there is awake and breathing after being shot, and they're still investigating that. There were no new classified documents found after a search of former Vice President and Indiana Governor Mike Pence's think tank. Fox's Kristen Goodwin reports.
Devin O'Malley, an advisor for former Vice President Pence, tells Fox News the Justice Department completed an unrestricted search of Advancing American Freedom's office for several hours and found no new documents with classified markings. Adding one binder with approximately 3 previously redacted documents was taken. The search at the former vice president's think tank follows Mr. Pence turning over classified materials discovered at his Indiana home and the FBI discovering additional classified documents at the residence last week.
The White House announced today that it will commit federal resources to East Palestine, Ohio, following the train derailment that released toxic chemicals in the town. The EPA, CDC, and HHS are there now trying to help with water and air quality testing. The Department of Transportation is also looking into what caused the wreck. You probably want answers about the Delphi murders case. You probably want to know what the prosecutors and the defense know. But for now, you'll have to wait. Donnie Burgess reports.
The legal team for Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen told a court Friday they would be shocked if the trial actually happens this year. Allen's team motioned for the bail hearing and trial to be pushed back due to the amount of evidence they've received in discovery. The bail hearing has been pushed to June 15th. No final word on the trial date. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 532, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at 82nd Street east of 465, as you were talking about, Castleton Square Mall closed for the rest of the evening because of that shooting investigation. Again, that's 82nd east of 465. You're going to need to stay clear. Large police presence there. Inbound 69 stop and go from 96th Street down to 82nd, and northbound 69 still slows near Pendleton from State Road 13 for about a mile and a half. Southside eastbound 465 tightens Kentucky Avenue over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and get free padding. Yes, my carpet. Get free padding only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shadeland. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Much colder air settles in for us overnight as temperatures fall to the 20s. It will feel like the teens. Saturday, warming up, seeing partly sunny skies by afternoon, breezy conditions, and highs in the mid to upper 40s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Nigel. Hammer over there. We'll go to the drivehubler.com hotline and bring on Breitbart Senior Editor-at-Large Rebecca Mansour. Rebecca, how are you?
Doing wonderful, guys. Great to talk with you.
So, like the headline from Breitbart is pretty jaw-dropping. Secret China donations to University of Delaware soared after the opening of the Biden Institute. And if you'd allow me to back up just a few quick ticks on the timeline here, Donald Trump got in trouble for classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. The FBI raided their house, went through Melania's underwear drawer. Joe Biden said that was the most irresponsible thing he's ever seen. And then it turns out he's got classified documents next to the Corvette in the garage and also classified documents at his quote-unquote think tank at the University of Pennsylvania, which I don't think, think tank and Biden should be in the same sentence. But there was also, when that story broke about the think tank, there was also drips and drabs about Chinese money being donated to this think tank. And this new article from Breitbart makes it sound like it goes much, much deeper than just the University of Pennsylvania. And I was wondering if you could just take us through everything we need to know about Joe Biden's relationship with China and these donations.
No problem. Like, as you said, the Penn Biden Center, which is out of the University of Pennsylvania, that's been known to us for quite some time about how when the Penn Biden Center opened, the University of Pennsylvania suddenly got nearly triple the amount of donations from China just poured into the University of Pennsylvania. Now, they had received some donations from China before that, but as I said, tripled. And we're talking about tens of millions of dollars. Just happened to come from anonymous Chinese donors in China after that center opened. But this latest development with the University of Delaware is much more concerning. Why? Because the University of Delaware never got any money from China. I'm talking about anonymous donors from China. They never got any money from China until the Biden Institute opened there in 2017. And then suddenly they got $6.7 million from China, including over $1 million from the Chinese government. How do I know that?
Wow.
Well, the United States Department of Education keeps track of all of these donations. And they have to be reported to the U.S. Department of Education by the universities. And the University of Delaware reported to the U.S. Department of Education that at least 3 of the donations came from, quote unquote, a foreign government source. In fact, the specific question that the Department of Education asks is this funding from a government? And in 3 instances, for donations totaling over $1 million, the University of Delaware replied yes. So, and they listed China as the origin and it as a foreign government source. So it's government money going into this University of Delaware. Now, here's the thing. Because we now have Hunter Biden's laptop, which even the slow learners at the New York Times agree is a legit thing. It's real. It's authentic. Okay. Everybody agrees now, even the people on CNN and everywhere else. Hunter Biden's laptop gives us a lot of information about how these academic institutes were founded, why they were set up. And here's what we learned from Hunter's laptop. We learned from emails that Hunter and his business partners were trying to plan Joe's, and I quote, future earnings potential. And when they set up the Biden Institute, they were very concerned about, quote unquote, the Biden brand and about generating, quote, wealth creation for the Biden family. That's how they talked about it, wealth creation. In fact, they specifically wanted to set this up and make it like the Clinton Global Initiative.
Right.
Was Bill and Hillary Clinton set up. But the one thing that they said that they wanted to do different is they wanted it to be, and I'm quoting here, like the Clinton Global Initiative, but without the money raised. And what they meant by that is when the Clintons set up their global initiative, they had to do a lot of fundraising, in-house fundraising for it. And they generated hundreds of millions of dollars, mostly from foreign governments, foreign sources, for their initiative. And of course it was it had the appearance of pay for play, obviously. But the Biden family didn't want to actually do any of that work. They just wanted to set up their shingle someplace and say, here we are, come get us, come on. And that's exactly what they did.
Wow.
All they had to do was say, we got the Institute here, and then the money came rolling in. And at least some of that money gives the appearance of coming from the Chinese government, perhaps, okay? And it's important to understand how this whole thing, played out because the entire Biden family was kind of involved here. We even have emails from Valerie Biden Owens, who was Joe's younger sister. I mean, the whole family was involved in this wealth creation scheme. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing that's just so disturbing about all of this, again, we have in the news about all the classified documents all over the place. Just this week, the FBI raided the University of Delaware, took away some documents. They said that the documents weren't stamped as classified, but they did take some material with them for further investigation. I don't know what the heck that means, but make of that what you will. But still, all of this is rather disturbing because here's the thing that I want everybody to keep in mind. $31 million. Keep that figure in your mind. What is that figure? That's how much money members of the Biden family made in just 5 business deals that they were involved in with individuals who are tied to the highest levels of Chinese intelligence.
Did you say 31 million? 31 million, Rebecca?
That's unbelievable.
31 million. That's how much in just 5 business deals that members of the Biden family, I'm talking about Hunter Biden, I'm talking about Joe's brother, I'm talking about Joe's sister, I'm talking about Joe. Indirectly, I guess you could say, because Hunter was paying his bills, as we now know.
Right.
$31 million with members who are directly tied to the highest levels of China's spy apparatus. In fact, because we know this again in Hunter Biden's laptop, which everybody agrees is real now, we also have the email where Hunter was planning on sharing office space with Joe, his dad, and with a man who Hunter described as, and I quote, the effing spy chief of China. And I'm changing the word effing, what he was actually saying. The effing spy chief of China. That's an individual by the name of Patrick Ho, who really was tied to China's spy apparatus. Joe Biden was going to share an office with this man.
Unbelievable.
After he left the vice presidency. So, think about that, guys. Let's imagine, if you will, during the last Cold War, when Reagan was president, or even when Carter was president. Imagine if members of the Reagan or Carter family were doing business deals with people tied to the KGB. Do you think Ted Koppel would have had an issue with that? Do you think,
Right.
guys back then might have looked into that?
I'm stunned.
Unbelievable. Rebecca Mansour is our guest from Breitbart. She's the senior editor at large. So, Rebecca, it all sounds shady as hell. Money has a trail to it. We see this. But at the end of the day, has any crime been committed at this point?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Okay. During the Trump administration, the Department of Justice was investigating universities that take a lot of money from foreign sources in China. And in particular, they were investigating Chinese espionage operations within American universities. And guess what? The University of Pennsylvania, remember the place that houses the Penn Biden Center?
Yep.
After they had received nearly triple the amount of donations from China after the launch of that center, they sent an open letter to the U.S. Justice Department calling on the Justice Department to stop these investigations into Chinese espionage at universities. Why? Because they said they were concerned
Racism.
about, quote, racial profiling.
Yep.
And guess what? The Biden Department of Justice agreed with them, and they stopped investigating.
So,
Isn't that interesting?
Let me, and we just got a minute or two left here. We could talk to you for an hour straight, Rebecca, but I want to play a clip from yesterday's press conference with Joe Biden as he's wrapping up his spiel about the Chinese spy balloon. Somebody asked him about his business dealings and if he was compromised with China. Listen to this.
There's been criticism that this...
China compromised by your family's business relations.
Sir, Mr. President, there has been criticism...
No wonder why he didn't want to answer that reporter.
Yeah.
Give me a break, man.
Give me a break, man, Rebecca.
Yeah, give me a break, man. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to tell you about how I'm shooting down some kid's science project air balloon over.
Hey, look, Rebecca, I know there's so much more we could talk about with this. I would love you to come back when there is an update and we could drill down even more. It's fascinating. It's stunning. It's a little scary. It's very scary. And I think that reporter yesterday had a point when he was asking about the business dealings with Joe Biden and Hunter and his family with China. I think there was a definite point to be made there, was there not?
Absolutely a point to be made. Everybody should be concerned about this because we see the real world consequences in his handling with China.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Rebecca Mansour, Breitbart senior editor, thank you so much. You can find that article at Breitbart.com. You have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Beer Sample Friday. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready.
Next.
You don't have to live in Indiana too long to know that winter means cold. Crazy cold. And winter can be hard on the siding of your home. You got to make sure your siding doesn't have any cracks or breaks because those cracks can cause leaks and water damage can cost you a lot of money. Do not be worried. Moss Roofing is here to help. From inspections to full replacements, they have plans to fit any budget. Just ask about their payment options. Moss Roofing uses James Hardy siding. It's low maintenance, comes painted, and you get money back when you sell your home because it increases the value of your home. If you're in need of siding help, Moss Roofing is the contractor for you. Contact Moss Roofing at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com or call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires after rebate. Thursday through Monday only at Bell Tire's President's Day sale. We even have tires as low as $49 after rebate. February 16th through the 20th. Save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. Thursday through Monday only. If you need new tires at the lowest tire price period, then save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires. February 16th through the 20th at Bell Tire. See store at belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Hey, call Mark Dietel, the only real estate agent I would trust to sell my home. Maybe you want to sell your home, but you're worried because your home needs some costly repairs or upgrades, or maybe you missed a boat on selling for max price. Don't worry. Mark Dietel has your back, just like he did with Chris and Carly in Indianapolis. Their jobs in life had them moving out of the country. They were excited, but their home was not an easy sell, so to speak, so they were stressed about selling. They knew Mark Dietel would guarantee their home sold, so they called him. As promised, home was listed, sold in the time frame they needed.
Mark Dietel guarantees an offer in 3 days for full market value, or he will list it for free. That is the Mark Dietel guarantee. And as far as I'm concerned, this is what makes him the best in the business. Call him right now, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When you choose Comcast Business, you choose a future-ready next-generation 10G network. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary.
Window Nation has the coolest deal ever for keeping you warm. Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy with 0 down payment, 0 monthly payments, and pay 0 interest for 24 months. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of Window Nation's deep discounts, all while reinvesting in your biggest asset. Not to mention the savings on your energy bills for years to come. Up to 43% of your home utility bill goes to heating and cooling. With Window Nation windows, you can cut those energy bills during these cold winter months by keeping your hot air in and cold air outside.
Go with the window company that has installed over 1 million windows in over 150,000 homes, including mine. All with a 96% customer satisfaction. Call 866-90-NATION to get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy, no limit. Plus, no down payments, no interest for 24 months. Call Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com and tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, looking at Castleton Square Mall. It is still shut down for a shooting investigation. It will be for the remainder of the evening. The mall is closed. Still a large police presence there. Please stay clear. Inbound 69 slows 96th Street down to 82nd, and on the south side, eastbound 465 slows up from Man Road over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Shop Drexel Interiors for carpet and gift-free padding. Yes, by carpet, gift-free padding only at Drexel Interiors. Visit Drexel in Carmel or on North Shadeland. Find Drexel at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
29 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Here we go.
Right now, Hammer and Nigel present Beer Sample.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beers on sale, people. Come down, get you some.
Yeah, brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with some very special guests in studio.
This is going to be fun. We got Brad Kloppenstein.
Klopp!
Wow. Thanks for having me back.
Glad to have you here. And you brought a guest with you. We've got Two Toms brewing owner, Tom Carpenter, as well.
Hey, Tom.
What's up, man?
What's up?
So you guys are resurrecting Alps.
This is a cool story.
So take me through the process of bringing Alps out back from the dead, basically.
So Alps Brow.
So, not even a brew, it's a brow.
It's a brow. So this is something where a couple years ago, I acquired the trademark to this. This was originally brewed up in Fort Wayne from 1957 till 78. And then it went away, and I went through the process of kind of resurrecting this. I was working with the Centlever family, who their family had owned the brewery way back when, before it went out of business.
Wait, why did it go out of business?
Because they were bad business people.
Okay. It certainly wasn't because of the beer.
No, the beer was spectacular.
Yeah, so you bought the brand, basically.
I bought the brand, and then I started shopping it around to breweries. So me and my wife, Sheila, we probably talked to 24 different breweries or so over the years. And Tom was one that we talked to over a year ago, and then we reconnected back in the fall, and we met with him, went up, tasted some of his stuff. So Tom and Two Toms, they brew in Fort Wayne, and then they've got a location on 96th Street where we're doing the tapping party tonight.
Right on.
So, Tom, what was your reaction when Brad brought this idea to you? Like, Was it I'm all in right away, or I wish this guy would leave me alone?
It was actually at a beer festival. He came up, he had all these stickers and stuff like that, and I listened to him, but wasn't super interested at the time. I pointed to another Fort Wayne brewery that was doing kind of a nod. They do an Alps Bro that they've done in the past, and probably passed them on to kind of somebody else. But
it reminded me of my dating years when I was hitting on the hot chick, and she's like, "No, I won't date you, but here's my kind of ugly friend."
And eventually,
over
you
here.
just wore him down to the point where he said yes.
Exactly.
And Tom, before we taste this beer, tell us about your brewery real quick. Two Tom.
Yeah, so Two Tom's Brewery, we have been up in Fort Wayne, almost celebrating 5 years. Be 5 years up in July. We're a small craft brewery, ranked number one in Fort Wayne, and usually in the top 20 within the state.
And you're down here too, right?
Yep. So we just opened up in July on 96th Street, just off of 69. So we do an ever-changing tap list. We don't have any core beers, so this is really kind of different and outside of our element. But we do everything from barrel-aged stouts to sours, you name it. But
Nice.
clean stuff like this as well, and known for doing great balanced beers.
Well, gentlemen, on the count of three, I want everybody to crack one open. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is. To Alpsbrow. Back, baby.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Back in business.
Klopp, congratulations, man. This is awesome.
Thanks, Nigel.
Where can people get more information?
Damn, that's good beer.
You get first taste of it, too.
So you can go to alpsbrow.com. That's ALPSBRAU.com. twotomsbrewing.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Tom, Brad, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
We got another hour to go. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. A competitor has the most popular Lazy Boy sofa for $13.99 plus $179 for delivery. We have the same sofa for $13.49. Free delivery, interest-free financing, saving you $229 compared to the big stores in Indy. And that's just one sofa. The best prices, the best furniture, free delivery only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the